This is Joe Montaldo. How are you this evening? Psych. I'm sorry.
Countdown. To
Welcome to the Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano. Airing live on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 FM in New Orleans.
Are you ready to explore the unknown? Dive into the world of the strange, mysterious, and unexplained with Eerie Expeditions magazine. Each issue is packed with spine-tingling tales, cutting-edge paranormal investigations, and exclusive insights into hauntings, cryptids, UFOs, and more. Whether you're a seasoned investigator or just love a good ghost story, Eerie Expeditions magazine has something for you. Join our growing community of truth seekers and adventure lovers. Subscribe today at EerieExpeditionsMagazine.com and unlock.
What's out there? What creates the shadows in the corners or the creatures of the dark? Who are those on the other side? What do they have to say? This is the Gateway Podcast. This is not your normal style of paranormal talk radio. Brought to you live from United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM New Orleans.
Tune in to UFO Undercover, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
When they are consuming your minds and your thoughts and your dreams, from the angels to the demons and to the mysteries unseen, there is no need to worry. There is no need for dread. It's just time to discuss the thing at the foot of the bed.
Is that Zelensky again?
You keep saying you got something for me. Something you call love, but confess.
Bank a doodle, man.
You've been a messin' where you shouldn't have been a messin'.
You got some hairy right there.
And now someone else is getting all your best. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. Yeah.
This was when I was young.
You keep lying when you ought to be truthin'. And you keep losing when you ought to not bet. You keep saying when you ought to be a-changin'. Now what's right is right, but you ain't been right yet. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
Ooh, here we go. Here we go.
You keep playing where you shouldn't be playing, and you keep thinking that you'll never get burned. Ha! I just found me a brand new box of matches.
Don't burn nothing up, baby.
And what he knows you ain't had time to learn. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. Are you ready, Boots? Start walking.
Prancing.
All right, all you old guys out there. Back
Yeah,
to reality now.
that's what happens when you give a rich actor's daughter $1 million and a bag of weed.
Hey, that's
Hey,
fine.
you jealous? Are
I'm
you
good.
jealous?
I'm good. Hey, wait. Didn't she? Who did Barbarella?
That was
That
Jane
was a traitor
Fonda.
bitch. Yeah, that's
Very
Fonda.
hated
Damn.
Jane
that
Fonda.
sucks.
Ask
It was
any
a traitor.
Vietnam
Thank you,
veteran
Joe.
about Jane
No
Fonda.
problem.
They
Thanks for
love
getting
to
it for
go
me.
off about that.
Joe, welcome. Cindy, welcome. Whoever else is hanging out there, Kurt, welcome.
I don't mind
Christopher,
Jane
come to
Fonda,
the chat
but I
room.
wasn't at
Anybody else
all.
wants to come to the chat rooms? Come on over.
I don't
We
agree
get on
with
Rumble,
what
go
she
ahead.
did.
She's a traitor bitch. She should have been executed. I mean, that's all there is to that.
The first
If you'd have done that,
90
Michael,
seconds-
when you came home, they would have cut your know-what's off, fed them to you, and then dropped you
The
off.
first 90 seconds of Barbarella is forgiveness enough
Well, I guess I mean,
for Jane Fonda. That's an I'm sorry, I'm willing to.
there is
Okay.
a revival. There is a remake of Barbarella that came out this year.
You can't do it, man. Can't do it. Jane Fonda was.
It's already done. It's out. You can rent it. Whatever.
Who played
That-
Barbarella?
Jane
The original
Fonda,
Jane Fonda.
traitor
She's a bitch.
played it.
She's a bitch.
Traitor played it.
It is.
See?
She's a traitor bitch.
The new one.
And I don't even like her now. I mean, I don't feel like she's ever done anything.
The new Barbarella is being played by Sydney Sweeney, and she's pretty hot.
I'll deal with that. Yeah.
She was married to Ted Turner, man, and then, you know, they had a lot of buckaroos together.
No, she's a bitch, Michael.
Money. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, they all are in the end. Everybody is. I think that.
No, she went over to Vietnam to visit the troops. Then when she came back, she called them all baby killers.
You know,
No,
before we get
she was
into any,
sitting on top of a
Military
tank.
people hate her good.
Jay, she was sitting on top of a North Korean tank.
oh, she's a traitor bitch.
North Vietnam
I mean, there's no forgiving her or any of that. I mean, every
She's just
non-soldier
stupid.
wanted to
This
take
is
her
the
out.
deal, man. You gotta understand. These people are very weak-minded, and they get brainwashed very easily by these groups, and they're selling them you're doing the right thing and whatever. Look at this Snow White chick, right? You know, they're denouncing her crap, all the stuff she says about Palestine, but Disney knew who she was, what she was saying when they hired her. They're just trying to deflect for the crappy movie. They actually remade the whole Snow White and made it horrible. They're trying to deflect, saying she's ruining the movie. The movie was pre-ruined, you know.
Yeah, well,
But
she
they
didn't
don't
write
want
the movie, so
responsibility.
let's be honest. I mean, she's run her mouth and caused some problems, and she needs to be fired, and that's what they did.
Yeah, let her go. Hey,
But I
take her going to
mean,
the bus.
she's not the one who wrote this multi-billion. What is it? 1.5 billion. It cost so far. It's made 44 million. What it's made so far. I mean, this thing may not even ever get close
I
to.
think that's what
No,
it made
they
for its whole
killed
weekend
it.
was 44 million.
Yeah, it was.
weekend
That was
draw.
the opening weekend. Snow White and the Seven Forts. I mean, they talk. You know, I was going to watch it
No,
just to
watch
see what
that.
everybody was
I remember
bitching
seeing
about.
the original one. I'm not going to go see this one. There's no freaking.
No, I
way.
was going to watch it. In all fairness, because if we're going to bitch about that,
It
watch
went
it.
DEI.
But,
They got rid of the dwarfs.
oh yeah, they
got rid
did. So what's his name? I can't remember his name now. He's a big news guy. He put up inserts and clips. No, I'm never going to watch it now. Oh my God, man! I mean, But you know what? In all fairness to Disney, this is before Trump became president. All this DEI shit was still intact, entrenched. So we'll see where Disney goes now.
Yeah.
So this is all we can do is go from this point forward and say, I heard they're already going to fire the Doctor Who guy, which is what made 8 episodes or 10 episodes or something. I don't know why. He's not really horrible.
Which guy? The actor or the producer or the director?
Oh, the actor. They're going to fire him. What is his name? I like the guy. He's just I know what they're going to fire him because he's gay. They're not going to say that.
Saying, dude, if you're young and you're not liberal, you got no heart, and if you're old and you're not conservative, you have no brain.
Well, unfortunately, that ain't the way the world is anymore. Today, the world is.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of brainwashed out there, man. They're very weak-minded, and they, just because they're millionaire, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean shit. That your brain is your brain, and she thinks she's saying the right thing for Palestine. Whatever. She doesn't understand. She probably. I bet she's never been there. I bet she's never talked to anybody who's Palestinian or even understood what the hell is going on. So. Of course not. They just want to yell and scream. That's part of their deal. But screw Disney. They deserve it. Hi ho, you suck, so you go. And what do they charge to get into that shit park, man? And you're likely to get accosted. There's a lot of people getting beaten up in there. I read that all the time. Disney attacks. It's very
Carolyn.
It's like Walmart.
Carolyn, you see, I can't even have her around me because the other night Michelle and I were talking about her. It was all good, by the way, Carolyn. And we were talking about her and after Michelle's show. And I can't hear that name because every time I instantly resort, it's like something stuck in my head. Is that you, Carolyn?
Your past life coming at you, Joe, man. Your past life talking to you.
No, it's from whatever that movie is, when she's in the TV and stuff.
Groundhog Day.
No, what the hell is that?
Poltergeist?
Poltergeist, yeah.
Oh, Carol Ann.
Yeah, Carol Ann. The movie where they had the little girl out of the TV. I remember that one.
Old Joe Biden.
It's not even the same name.
That was Joe Biden in that movie playing the preacher. Carol Ann.
You know we love you, Carolyn.
Later on, it has the crazy Southern lady. He goes, "This house is clear."
They all died or went nuts. I mean, basically, they messed with stuff they shouldn't have messed with in that movie. And then you start getting into voodoo, you start getting into Santeria, you start getting into using real skeletons and digging up people, man. Ugh, good luck.
Well, I don't think anybody's controlling Trump. I think Trump can't even control himself. It's it's kind of funny.
I think no. I'd have to disagree. I'd have to say I forget her name, but the lady who he appointed,
she's good, but she ain't controlling Trump. He's just saying.
Oh, she does take control, but she's definitely reined his ass in.
She has reined his ass in. But she reined his ass in a while back, in all fairness to her. So what she does, but this is what the lady that worked at the office that she goes. So she comes in the morning, she starts talking to him, and then she starts telling him, well, you got this, and this, or you can do it this. And she gives him options. But she keeps it within the parameters that she wants it to stay inside of. I got to give her credit for that. She's really good at it. Now, even though Trump goes off script from time to time, he does seem to be a different guy this time around than the last time around. We're going to talk about Greenland a little bit. First, real fast. I don't want to say real fast, but we know what was going on in Myanmar. We know in Bangkok and all of them had a big, massive earthquake. There was it 7.7, 7.3. It was big.
7.7.
People there,
and it was shallow.
All the pets, all the animals, man.
It's in basically Western. What is Thailand? What would have been in the World War II map would have been known as Burma.
Oh, okay.
The prince with
is this place anywhere near Singapore?
Here, I have a map here. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Okay.
No, they said the reason it did so much destruction was because it was shallow. It wasn't a deep earthquake. It was close to the surface.
Shallow earthquake, and plus the buildings are made with crap.
Yeah.
They don't have
it was funny. It's funny you said that because I'm watching this afternoon. I'm watching some buildings coming down. They had this one skyscraper. This thing just went whoosh, like it was dust. It was in the middle of construction. But worse than that was they had this gold temple. All these buildings are following around this old gold temple, and it's swaying back. The tip of it fell up, but that damn temple never fell over. That thing's got to be like 300 years old, 40 years old. And it took the earthquake, but none of them new buildings did. Them bitches was crumbling like dust.
Yeah, they said hundreds of miles of destruction.
Well, look at the red zone. That's where the destruction. Yeah. That's where the fault moves.
So if you want to give,
X is where the fault of where the ground zero is, and that's about where the fictional bridge in the River Kwai would have been built.
Yeah. So if you want to give the I forgot what they call him. He's in charge of Jean-Jean. Is that what they called it? But he's a military leader. But he came out today and said that please help anybody in the countries, anybody around the countries, anybody who wants to come in. They have really strict control on who goes and comes to let people in their country. Apparently, this was way more devastating than our news is covering. So I imagine over the next few days, we'll just start hearing horror stories.
Yeah, you don't see much in the news about it, man.
No, there's not much. If I was telling, matter of fact, before you came in, I was talking to Jay and Sean about it. I said, I've got my Roku set up. So there's 20 news channels I have set up on there, and I scan through them, especially on nights, on days like today, when I know we're doing a news show. One of them I saw it on NBC for all of about 4 minutes, and that was it. None of the other channels, and none of the European, Canadian, Australian, Asian channels had it on. It was very strange.
I expected to see it plastered everywhere, with those buildings toppling like they were doing, and swaying back around. But it was like nothing. You actually had to look for the story. Pretty sad.
Jesse James, I think Trump's a dick. Yeah, I agree. I like Trump, though. I think he's a dick, yeah. Would I let him babysit my kid? But I'd let his kids babysit my kid, though. I would trust his kids. I would trust Trump with my kid.
Let me say this very plain.
All his grandkids and all his
Trump is an asshole.
No, it's an assholio, man. Assholio.
He's our asshole. You know what I mean? And we need an asshole because without one, we explode.
Yeah, we do need an asshole.
So good side question, segue question. So should we be sending money to the earthquake victims?
Well, a couple bucks.
Yeah, should we send people? Maybe is a better question.
You mean
should we be sending? So should we send
all those IRS agents? We got like 80,000.
Carrie Lynn said she wants to go over there and help out. So
I agree with you, Kurt. We need a businessman to run this world. We really do.
Well, we need a businessman with some love in his heart.
It's a disaster area. What can anybody do, really? They need more specialists, medical people, and that type of thing. And
they need everything. They need contractors. And anybody can dig dirt, carry pans. They need everything they can get over there. You got trained dogs.
They've got millions of people.
Joe, go over there, man.
They also have millions around.
I wouldn't go. I don't want to sound rude or mean, but you couldn't get me over there for less than about $2 million down, and probably a contract for about $10 million.
Because you're expensive, man. People can't afford that.
And Kurt, you're right. Kurt's right. We should give more money to Maui and Carolina first.
Well, yeah. Well, that's coming. We're giving more money to them too. Trump, for some reason, being blocked on the Maui thing. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. You'd have to talk to California to see what's going on with that. But
he's putting
Carolina doesn't seem to. They're going to start getting more help. But FEMA's going to go away, so I don't know what is going to happen when FEMA goes. Even I'm a little nervous about FEMA because I live in the deep south. I mean, Jesus Christ, my house is less than 200 yards from the Gulf of Mexico, man.
But what have they done for anybody?
Gulf of America.
I knew it. The Gulf of Britain. How's that? I'm going. That's it. I'm coming Mexican. Man.
No. It's the Gulf of Pirates, man. Because it was pirates that formed that whole area, including New Orleans, man. New Orleans was made by pirates, man.
Yeah, it's Jean Lafitte, man. They still say Jean Lafitte's
treasures
all buried over there.
Carrie
Gulf of America.
Even right. Carrie Lynn
before anybody else corrects me, it is the Gulf of America, and I do live on the Gulf of America. It's just where I live. But the reason I brought it up is not because I live there. It's because we get nasty hurricanes.
How about the Gulf of shit?
There's an agency that controls what maps call the bodies of water, and they haven't changed it to the Gulf of America yet officially.
Everybody else has, though.
Everybody else has, Jay.
They better get the no. Everybody else has. Wikipedia's changed it. Google's changed it. Yahoo's changed it.
Oh wow!
Hey, Europeans even changed it.
I want to ask Carrie Lynn a question off topic. Carrie, listen. If you had the opportunity, hon, to become an American citizen, would you do it?
Why are you hating on them Canadians?
No. Not all Canadians are bad, dude.
I don't think that people know what.
I don't think I got a lot of friends in Canada.
But I mean, there's nothing wrong with them having their independence, But
well, no, see, that's not true. Our problem right now is independence of the world. As long as you have 200 countries, there'll never be peace. Nothing will ever get accomplished. It'll always be accomplished in bits and spurts and pieces of crap.
Here's your
So
answer.
the thing about it is, if you want world peace, then you have to have one government.
And you
Sorry,
will
Carrie Lynn,
assimilate.
for putting you on the spot.
You will assimilate to what we want, and if you hold against us, we will keep you at the end of a gun.
So you can
We will
have a
take your
democracy.
sheep, we will take your women. We will take your gold.
It'll be a democracy or a republic. It'll probably be a republic more than likely, but it'll
Ain't gonna be no republic.
no, yeah. Imagine. I'm pretty sure how this is going to go down too.
It'll
But
be the Federation.
I think the Americans have got a new idea on it. I think
No, they'll break it down to those territories. It'll be just like, however many.
No, I think I was watching this show the other day, and I had said this a long time ago, but I think Americans have started to realize at the end of World War II, we controlled 69% of the world. 69%. So just think, if we'd have kept and did like MacArthur said and took Russia and China, we would control the world completely today. It would be one government. It would be the American government. And there would not be all this other bullshit going on because there would be no way for the Middle East couldn't do it.
But think about it like this also. After the war, we had multiple bases, military, and multiple types of different, all of our branches of military bases in all of European cities.
So we had the chance, but because
we still did. We still did. Technically, we had our military bases there.
Yeah, we had the chance to unite the planet under one government.
Yeah.
And really make a difference because the UN doesn't work. The UN's a piece of shit. I mean, it's a joke. And when I was young, I was big into the UN.
Tweaked out as well, I would imagine.
So NATO's a little different because it's a different kind of treaty. It's not about saving the world; it's about saving your ass. So that's a little bit different. But we're in a precarious situation now because America, when it had the opportunity, didn't take it. But right now, guess what? America's got the opportunity to do it again. This way, it won't be as peaceful as it would have been the other way, but they have the opportunity to do it. Let me put it another way. They have the opportunity to trigger it. So the EU tried it, but nobody wants to be part of the EU. Even the European countries are kind of like, I mean, how many have left? 3 or 4? Now, there's always some trying to get in, but there's always some trying to get out. And losing Britain, I mean, Britain was a big thing.
Left.
I mean, but when you lost Britain, that was a big thing, losing Britain. I mean, yet they were kind of like, yeah, take me down out of this place. So even though people,
I mean, why would you want to make your entire country dependent on a coin and a paper that you don't control or print yourself?
No borders either.
So the only way you can do that is to consider yourself a state and not a country anymore, because you're no longer a country, you become a state, and that's the only way you can do it.
I don't think the whole of Canada would become a state, but it would be like, each territory. Quebec would be, state of Quebec, state of...
No, probably what they would do is make it a commonwealth, like they did with India. And each one of India's is not a state, but it's something else.
I mean, they're all states.
A province.
That's why we have the State Department dealing with other countries. We don't call them countries; we call them states. I mean, states here in the United States.
That's what I said. All the countries would become states, and we'd have one government.
Well, I mean,
one military, and think how much less money. Do you realize that at least $5 trillion a year less on defense would be spent every? And you cure cancer in 2 years, if it ain't already cured. They won't even have an excuse not to cure. There'll be so many things get cured. Life will get extended 50, 80, 100 years easy. We'll be on Mars in no time. We'll be all over the solar system.
Mars doesn't exist, man.
We'll be on the plague. I was on Mars just yesterday, so I know it exists. It's no, I was. That's the way I was, man. Look, go look on my Facebook page. There's a picture of me standing on Mount Olympus.
Did you get into Elon Musk's suck tube, man? You see?
No, I got a ride with Melania. What's her name?
It's called the suck
Melania
tube.
Obama. They got a private
special door, and then you get into the suck tube, and it sucks you up there.
According to Albert Weber, every president for the last 40 years has lived there.
They've all been through the suck tube.
Has lived on Mars.
Has been trained on Mars. Yeah. What he's saying is the presidents are pre-picked. They already know.
Lizard women, man.
Oh my God!
Be careful.
There has been a fringe group that has said that the same.
So the guy who started it, by the way, was Jimmy Carter's science advisor. That's who Alfred Weber was. So, and this some bitch has degrees out of frickin' yin yang. This ain't just a nobody saying this. He's got serious degrees. He got serious law degrees. He practiced big time. He got degrees in a lot of other fields. Plus, he worked for Jimmy Carter. And I don't think he was actually a science advisor. Everybody always says it, but I actually think it's a different kind of advisor. But I don't think that was true.
Yep.
I met that.
You know,
dude.
I don't. I'm not saying that. You know, okay, in 1979 or 1980, the first SR-71. Oh, not that SR. The first TB-3A was supposed to fly, and it went to Mars. It was a joint U.S. Russian mission. We took the Russians along with us so we wouldn't start a war, and we went. And they said they established a colony there, and there's been a colony there ever since.
What about the lizard people, man? The lizard people.
The lizard people. They ain't lizards anyway. They're not reptiles.
Lizards?
They just look like crocodiles, man. They look like
They're not. I don't think they've descended from a reptilian line.
Yeah, because
That
they're
one
warm
Captain
blooded.
Kirk kicked his ass. Remember that?
Yeah, well, they also have
As a
memory.
matter of fact, have you seen the new Star Trek with the new ones?
There we go.
The new Star Trek ones are badass, man. That poor thing that fought Kirk in Star Trek was nothing compared to these. It's
So
such
the
a
Gorn,
contrast. Yeah, the Gorns
They
are
got
so
a new
different.
one? Oh my god.
Yeah, and
Well, they're digital now.
Strange New Worlds. Yeah,
Is Captain Kirk a girl in this one?
no, he's Captain Kirk's not the captain there. He's Captain Pike.
They're digital and they move like lightning speed. The Gorn in Captain Kirk's time was like they had the act. It was I think he's from Europe somewhere. His name was Janos Prohaska. He's playing the Gorn, but he moves like real slow. If you watch him, how he moves, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, if
But-
that would have been the Gorn Kirk was fighting, Kirk would have been dead within the first 5
And
minutes.
when the Gorn fights him, he's like real slow, and Kirk's like just dodges him.
You're all killing me, man.
It looked like whoever made those scenes was
Killing
tripping
me.
The worst. It's the
tripping on
worst
shrooms.
episode you can ever.
Okay,
watch.
okay. So Mars does exist.
Yeah.
Let go the Star Trek shit.
on Mars. We're all going to live on
Sean
Mars.
just said Mars existed, man.
Oh, wait. So there's something interesting about Mars, guys. Something us oldies need to pay attention to. So,
I mean,
if
besides
we
the
all
two
went-
nuclear bombs exploded in its
So-
atmosphere.
well, no. So if the four of us went to live on Mars right now at the age we are, it would probably extend our lives by 30 or 40 years.
Let's go.
One. Oh, no, listen. One, if you got arthritis, you really wouldn't have it anymore because there's not all that gravity pulling your joints down. That extra, that only 1/3 lightens up and lets the joints float so you won't be all that pain anymore. Plus, if you're on high blood pressure, you got high blood pressure, you'll lose it on Mars because there's nothing to make your heart work extra hard. So that's what they're saying. They're saying you should live on Earth till you're 50 and then move to Mars, and your lifespan will probably be well over 100, 150 years old.
But can you get excited on Mars? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
Like,
can.
excited.
Actually, it's easier because the blood is loosened.
Michael,
I saw that one. I saw that one.
No, I'm just
coming
saying
like
the
2
blood
minutes
flow
early.
what
is,
do you
is
think
much
Viagra's
better.
for, guys? Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh.
So I mean, you can live there, and you know, so young. So Earth would just become for the young people, and Mars would become for retirees and shit. It'd be
Plus,
much
if you're
better
lucky,
because
we
we wouldn't have to
might
put up with all
some
those
space
asshole
wars on
hormones.
Mars. That would be good.
Couldn't have no nudie bitches.
Yeah, you
They
could.
wanna
They'd
clear
be
things
looking
out.
good,
They
man.
just
Look.
get off the
Ladies
oxygen.
Let me
What,
explain
Total
something to
Recalls?
y'all.
They have
Ladies
three
and
of them.
gentlemen, I'm just gonna put that out there. When
you cut off the oxygen, little Drax
when
would
I
be
was
like,
10 years
too
old,
much oxygen for them.
yeah.
Shut
So when I was 10 years old, a woman in 50 looked like a woman 80 today. I'm just saying, it was a much different thing. You know, today women in their 50s and 60s looking fabulous.
Drax will have
women in their
Trump's head
70s
in
are
a
looking
jar,
great.
right? Trump
They,
will be like talking, but his head will be in a jar, and Drax will be like, "Uncle Donnie said if they don't pay, they don't breathe."
And think about this, if especially for you ladies, think about this. It counts for men too. But so if you move to Mars at 45 before your skin starts to sag, there won't be no gravity there to pull it
No
down.
sloppy boobies, man. They're gonna be floating.
And yeah, your boobies will be all perky because oh man, I'm moving to
Need a
Mars,
boob
man.
job
Screw
on
this.
Mars.
I'm going to Mars, man.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
You would call Mars the vanity planet.
Hey,
man.
that should be Venus, but I mean,
For guys,
but
for
think
guys
about it,
too who
people.
have boobies.
You have to
know
think
what I
about things. What? Because they always talk about how disadvantaged things will be on Mars because your bones will deteriorate faster. Well, if you live on, especially if you're an old person, if you live on Mars, if you go there at 50 and you're like 70, and you decide to go back there, nah, not a good idea. I'll probably kill you. Your body will go into shock. You won't know what to think. You haven't
That's what
had
people
real
told me
Gary.
about Colorado, but yet my body loved it. You know what I mean? I love
Colorado's
the
a little
altitude.
weird.
You get up in there in the altitude, it's nice, man. I'm thinking about moving there now.
Damn right.
Uh-huh.
Did you get excited there, Mike?
I did, man. because they had weed shops everywhere. The second
Yes,
you
they
drive
did
into
that.
Colorado, there's a whole bunch of them.
There are
man.
weed shops everywhere. That's for sure.
I'd never seen legal weed at that point. In my
Justin,
life,
you know what? I haven't seen any links up yet for the earthquake. If I find one, I'll post it in here for y'all to have. It's no, I haven't yet. I mean, like I said, we've seen very little floating across the news feeds.
Well, there's the one that I showed up there was for there's more on earthquake.usgs.gov. Let me see what happens when I click on that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's my little spot to go to, man.
Mandalay Bay, Burma. Boom. That's the actual. Yeah.
We're gonna see more of this, man. Let me tell you, this I don't want to be Mr. Like, ooh, the world's ending, but this is part of something that's bigger, you know. And then there's a chain of events, you know, the chaos effect, right? Supposedly a butterfly, you know, flapping its wings in China can cause tornadoes in the Midwest in America. There's a connection with nature and all things, you know. But look at the fires, look at the floods, look at the earthquakes. They're getting intensifying, man. This is probably unprecedented. Hundreds of miles of destruction. I mean,
yeah. Well, here there's an interactive map. I don't know how it interacts or whatever, but
it's beyond catastrophe. But it's a very weird. I don't know. The world is very weird right now. I'm kind of thinking like, wow, we're really witnessing things that are kind of exciting. It's an exciting time to be alive because
I think that's the city Mandalay right here. That's
look at the size of the length of destruction. I mean, a lot of that's just deep city, man. We've got millions of people, you know, in some of those cities. So it's just devastating.
I'll throw this question out here in the panel. Do you think it was man-made?
Where's the USS Ford or Ronald Reagan, man? Ronald Reagan, that's the one they said that has the tectonic weapons in it. But why attack them? You know what I mean? There would really be no. It's not like Iran. Like Iran, you would see having a massive earthquake, and you're like, ooh.
Well, I mean, look at how close it is to Vietnam. I mean, here's Vietnam. It's right here on.
Yeah, but it's an earthquake zone, man. The whole zone is an earthquake zone, and they shouldn't build skyscrapers in the earthquake zone. And you know, I mean, California had to learn lessons about building buildings in earthquake zones, and even they don't go all that high, you know, because of earthquakes. So,
yeah.
But it happened. It happened. But I think this is going to trigger other stuff. You know, there's also super volcanoes that are supposed to blow, and I don't know, man. It's very weird, but I feel like things are interconnected and kind of running along together. You know what I mean? Look at the fault line from Myanmar all the way up to Alaska, you know, into Canada and whatever. It's, you know, that whole ring of fire basically, but that particular fault line, I find it very interesting.
Well, and that's basically how. That's the origin of Hawaii. I mean, the magma comes up underneath. That's why those volcanoes are active. They're continually spitting out whatever the main Hawaiian island that big mountain is on. It's is that the main? Is that Hawaii? I don't know, but every day that island with the mountain, that big volcano on it, it grows. I don't know how many inches per year, but that's significant.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, it just means it's going to blow its ass up in the near future. It's or the you know.
Well, I mean, all those islands, like all the way back going up to Japan, came from that volcano.
No.
You got that other one too, man. That Topanga.
Which other one?
That's out.
So
the ocean, basically.
So what's this? Elon Musk bought another company, XAI, and he's merging it with X. He bought it for $33 billion. It's an AI company, apparently a really good one. I was looking for something while y'all were talking, and it came up on the screen. I was like, well, what the hell is this? I mean, this guy, he's like Trump. Does he ever sleep?
Who?
They're vampires, dude.
I mean, are they like the Stefford wives? It just
at
men?
night, they're lurking around. During the day, they're inside, man. They're vampires.
I don't know. They never seem to be sitting still ever.
Because they don't do any drugs or drink, man. That's what happens.
That we know of.
That's what happens when you don't do drugs or drink.
Trump's medical stuff is public, especially when he's in the White House.
Well, Elon's busy having kids. What has he got, 17 kids or so?
I think he's got 12 now. I think he's got 12 now. And
Yeah, little Drax.
Little Drax is going to be the one we got to all watch. He's going to be the one.
He's
I don't know if we're going to have to watch him because by the time he's old enough to do anything, I'll be so old.
We're gonna be dead. We'll be
I
dead.
don't know if we'll be dead, but we just won't give a shit. We'll be like, you do what? Yeah, go ahead, man. We don't care. We're waiting for the creator to come pick us
Damien
up.
Omen stuff, man. You know, Damien Omen. That's what that is. Walking with the president and whatever. That's some weird stuff right there, man.
What do you mean? No, my son's old, man. He's like,
I mean,
he's
me
like old as
personally,
dirt.
I have nothing to do with any of that because I'm happier to run deeper into the woods and hide. You know what I mean?
He's
Let people
40.
fight it out. Then when they're done, I'll come back out of the hills.
Yeah, my kid's as old as Jay. He's 40.
I'm not 40. I wish I was 40. I remember 40.
He's 39.
Yeah, 39. You know, pregnant with alien babies. How the fuck?
Yep.
I don't even know how that goes on.
We're all 39.
No, we're getting ready to move on to some other topics. Oh, wait. I wanted to play this. I forgot I had this up here. Damn it.
Yeah, you got a screen down there.
So this was up for us. Let's go ahead and click it on right quick. I forgot all about this.
On this show here, you have over
3 minutes
20
long.
years of knowledge.
Meet
I don't know
the
this
most
already.
beautiful creature of the future. Her name is Barbarella, and
Okay,
she
if you're
makes
under 18,
science
close your
fiction something else. Jane Fonda is
Triggers.
Barbarella. Barbarella is a 5-star, double-rated astronavigatrix Earth girl whose specialty is
Love.
Shall I tell you what I would like?
I think I know.
her top
Mark
secret
Eddy.
mission is a real wing dinger.
What's that hair and stuff? Things were hairy back in those days, man. It was before the Wacky Bush movement of 1980.
Good many dramatic situations begin with screaming.
Just make it a lot.
Sweet Sonia.
She was cute, man.
Sweet Sonia.
Could you hand me a garment?
See Barbarella do her thing with the nice angel, with the warm, friendly Iceman, with the cold, evil Black Queen,
Hello, pretty.
She's like the female
with the
Captain
charming
Kirk.
hand-to-hand
Working
romance.
her way through the universe.
I'm sorry, people.
It's almost like a
for the
porno.
viewers out there, I'm sorry I
but,
put you
but
on screen
it's
there.
lacking. But it's not a porno, but it's almost like a porno.
It's almost,
You know what I mean?
you know, pre-porn. But then there is actually a new one for 2025 with Sydney. It's also by Paramount. Oddly enough, I guess they still own the rights. But this stars Sydney Sweeney.
No, I think it
we
was
don't
Jane
break it.
Fonda trying to get back at her father, Henry Fonda, who was the big war hero dude. And, I mean, he was known, he was super conservative. And here she comes, and she's going to be...
Well, it did one thing. It got her famous, that's for sure. They made her famous.
Brainwashed bubblehead, right? I mean, what did she really
No, again,
do?
it's another example of this is what happens when you give a rich actor's daughter, $1 million and a bag of weed.
Yeah, what she really did. You know what was interesting?
They'll do something stupid with it.
What is
I'm
this
gonna tell you a
weed
story,
stuff
man.
y'all keep talking about? I've
You
never
ever
heard
see
of it.
you ever see the TV show Northern Exposure? The guy, the Jewish doctor who gets sent to Alaska, right? It's actually a very, very funny show. There's this guy in there, Ed Chigliak, who's the actor. That's not his real name. It's his screen name. Anyway, this dude, white guy, whatever, played an Indian, but he was supposed to be like, his mom is white and his dad's an Indian and that type. And it wasn't bad in the show. He was all right. But I was watching him be interviewed by Arsenio, right? And then Arsenio was talking to him, how'd you get your start and whatever. The guy's like, well, I was flipping burgers and, I went, in Kansas and I went to Hollywood and I worked hard and whatever. The dude never ever said that his father was super famous and that his mother was a famous actor and acting coach. And his father was the one who got him a job in Northern Exposure. So, but this is people, man. You know what I mean? Just because you have a kid doesn't mean your kid's going to be talented. it's gonna it's just your freaking kid.
And then sometimes your kid might be more talented.
But that's Hollywood now. It's all these the children of talented people, and they're not they don't act. They're not great actors. They make the movie role for the person. It's not like, oh, we found the great person for the movie. No, they make the movie. Saturday Night Fever, it was made for John Travolta. Without John Travolta, the movie would never have been made. And it was like, they said that screenplay's been around for years. They took that with two other things and threw it together. That's what they did.
That is true. When you can target a script at a particular actor or even a couple that will fill the same role and get one of those, your top 3 choices, you usually have a pretty good hit. But they don't do that so much anymore.
Yet
Maurice,
Depp,
Mike and Jay are working on their pronouns. That's all.
Johnny Depp, who I think is a huge douche, is probably an amazing actor because he can.
He's an amazing actor, dude. I've been watching him since the first TV show he was in.
He can play.
This is what that weed stuff is that makes y'all think this. Oh, I got it now. Okay.
He can play.
I understand. Moving on to some real news instead of whatever the hell you two are talking about.
But Johnny Depp, come on.
I know, man. Come on.
He's a great actor.
Yeah, well,
pretty good. He's a very, very good.
So is what's his name from? So is Caprio, but still, we don't want to talk about it.
But I don't think.
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio is not a character actor though. He tries to be a serious actor. DiCaprio sucks.
I don't know.
Johnny
man.
Depp
He's got some pretty good
actual,
movies.
What you call a character actor. He can become a different person in every role that he's in. He's very good.
What are you talking about? He always plays the same role.
No, he doesn't.
No more. If weed is what makes you two think, like, you are officially cut off of that.
Johnny.
Put it out. I want to hear it. Put it out.
One story about Johnny Depp.
Jerry Lynn, you need to call Michelle on these guys.
When Johnny Depp was doing Hunter Thompson. When Johnny Depp was doing
I wish we don't want to talk about Johnny Depp. Just move along.
When Johnny Depp was doing the Hunter Thompson movie and he was he wanted to go live with Hunter Thompson. Hunter put him in the basement, and he was sleeping next to a case of dynamite.
He was sleeping with Hunter Biden, man. Get out of here, man.
Is there really a case of dynamite in there? And Hunter Thompson's like, of course there is.
No, Mike's officially cut off, y'all. We're gonna have an intervention.
Hey, how about the Redskins, guys? What do you think about them?
We stop picking on intervention. Yes,
we need to have some intervention on the Redskins too. Michelle gives me shit about listening. Michelle and Amelia give me shit about listening to CBC, and which is the Canadian broadcasting company up there.
Yeah, CBC.
And she goes, "Why do you listen? It's going to rot your brain out here." I said, "Because I got to know what the liberals are talking about in Canada." I said, "Down here, it's easy. I just flip on the channel and they're screaming about something."
How many people live in Canada? Like all of Canada? How many?
38 million, 38, 39 million, something like that. About the same as California. Yeah, it's about the same as California. That's why Trump always says make a mistake.
But whenever I turn on the Canadian broadcasting, what I'm seeing with their liberals is what I saw when Joe Biden was in presidency, man.
But see, Trump made a boo-boo, a miscalculation. So the liberals were so far down, just not even 3 months ago, they said they haven't even had a chance to be prime minister or win anything. But thanks to Trump and his threats and his tariffs and his Canadian state shit, now the guy's got a chance of winning. And then Trump went and had a meeting with him today, so that maybe gives him more chance of the liberals winning. So I don't know what they're going to do because it's going to be tough. Because Trump's not going to deal well with liberals. You know how he is with them.
You know how I feel about that.
Canada, I'm just warning y'all. Don't put a liberal in office because you're going to hate it. Because Trump hates liberals. He will go out of his way to do anything he can to screw him.
Another liberal pink short.
No, they got some good people up there that could be prime minister. They got rid of.
You know who I really like up there? I like that chick from Alberta. She's like doesn't take no shit off of nobody.
I think Michelle DeRocha, man, should be the president of all that.
Oh God, no.
She would kick ass, man.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's what Canada needs.
Pretty good question. What if Trump takes over Canada as a state? Does that mean that those Canadians can now run for president?
No.
I don't want to.
See, the problem is that states don't work that way. States have to be voted in, so they can become a commonwealth. Is what they can become, just like Puerto Rico, which means
it's a commonwealth and it's also a state.
You are You are now named America's.
Who's a Commonwealth? No, you're either a Commonwealth or a state. You're not both.
Nobody
That's
wants
Puerto
to go to
Rico's
the
a
island,
Commonwealth.
man.
Puerto
That's what
Rico's not a
Canada is.
state.
It's a
But
yacht.
do we
Pennsylvania
need?
is a United States or not?
Wait,
Do
what?
we need?
Pennsylvania is known as the Commonwealth, but it's also a state
I
of the
don't know, but
United
it's a
States.
state. It's not really a Commonwealth. It's just a state. I don't
It's
know why they
called
call it that.
Punxsutawney. Punxsutawney.
Because the only Commonwealths I know of are all islands.
Say like if Canada became a Commonwealth, will we still need a visa to get in?
No. What?
A passport?
You're gonna get all the people in Texas all twitchy, the Lone Star State.
You would travel in Canada,
They're
just
ready to
Canadians
exceed-
too. Both countries would travel just like
you get
we-
people
in
on
our
Long Island
country.
talking
would be no
about
border.
separating.
Yeah, there would be no
Right.
official borders anymore. The border wouldn't exist anymore. There would be no need for trade because everything would be open. It would just be like the states trading
No
between
tariffs.
themselves. They would turn.
No tariffs.
You know, and
Canada.
actually, to be honest with you, I don't think it would be one Commonwealth. I think they would break it into 7 or 8 of them.
How would
Yeah,
how would
I'm
we?
saying, one
aside-
would be British
aside
Columbia,
from-
one would be Quebec, one would be Toronto. The various provinces would become different states, or
Yeah, well, I'm
or-
thinking they
I
might even
know-
break
I
some
know
of them in
Trump
half.
wants the oil, but aside from the oil, how are we going to, how's it like do us any good really? Aside from
just
yeah,
like,
oil.
just
Well-
like Trump
well, for
said,
me-
drill, baby, drill.
Yeah, drill baby drill. I'd be
Okay.
if I could do that, I'd be up there gold prospecting my ass off.
Oh,
know,
hell
Canadian-
yeah!
you know
Jesus
Canadian
Christ,
bacon
more
is
than
just
half
ham.
the land is unlived on.
Canadian bacon's just ham.
That's all it
It's
is.
probably more than half, probably like
No, it ain't.
80%.
No, Joe. It's just
Tried
ham.
fat back, and it
It's
ain't any good. To be honest
It's
with you.
just ham. Canadian bacon.
Yeah, it's just ham. I know.
Canadian bacon, eh?
It's just cutting the circle, man. It's all.
That's it.
What do they call roast beef?
You get the same effect by cooking spam.
Canadian filet mignon.
I tried to explain that to a friend of mine from Canada one day. No, it's different. I said, it's not different, man.
It's
You
filet
go and find out
mignon.
for yourself.
It's not filet mignon. It's
But
roast
still,
beef.
when you see people order
Oh.
pizzas, they order Canadian bacon. They cut them in little squares down here, which sucks.
They
Yeah,
don't pizza.
Anyway,
It's
moving
already
on
huge.
from that. We're not talking about food. Moving, we got too many important things to talk
Amelia
about.
Pisano.
Well, you
the
did
most
mention Amelia's
beautiful
name.
pizza.
That's
Yes.
your
Well,
bacon.
oh yeah, we got to
What
watch
about
them.
the Redskins, though, huh? They did pretty good last year.
They
Corn.
so Trump is just going nuts. And now we got JD Vance over in Greenland threatening Greenland. So
Yeah, they were coming
So
off.
there's a couple of things
aggressive
that's
because
funny
the,
about
Freezing his
Greenland. So,
knockers off, man.
so
You
let's
realize
look at
that?
Greenland. First, we have a big space base in Greenland. Most people don't even realize that, but we have a big space base there. And but why do you think America would want Greenland? So do you think it's because of the minerals and all that? There's oil
No.
there, there's minerals there.
No, it's strategic, man.
What else?
Yeah,
Thermal?
it's strategic, but it's not even none of that. Even though it's strategic, that's still not the reason he wants it.
What?
Because by taking Greenland, or say he's taking Greenland, it puts Putin on his back foot. So now Putin's got to say, well, wait. So
Oh,
America's going to, so Trump's going to say, well, if you don't want us to take Greenland, you got to give back the territories, dude. And we're not taking off the tariffs either. So you're going to have to work one way or another. If not, we're going to take it. You ain't no way you're going to stop us, Putin. If we want to take Greenland, we're going to fucking take it. And we're going to take it in like 2 days. So it's not going to be like this shit you got going on in Ukraine. We're just going to roll in with 150,000 U.S. soldiers. Boom, 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 boom. And guess what? We now control Greenland. Fuck you, Denmark. Fuck you, Russia. And we'll put subs right in front of you. You get too close. Guess what'll fucking happen? Your ass. You'd be going to beat Davy Jones in the locker. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, he knows what he's doing with this is, and he's just to the point where he needs a card to play against Russia. He doesn't really have any cards to play on Russia because Russia don't give a fuck. Russia's like fuck y'all, but Greenland is a whole different problem. Fuck NATO. If the United States got a big old base like we got in Germany and Greenland, oh no, China and Russia screwed. That means we can get to them in under 8 minutes. They're screwed. Plus, we can put up a strategic missile base there to kill missiles. It's a good thing for us all the way around. Even if we don't take it, it's still a good thing for us because if we beat Putin over the
And
head with
here's
it,
what kills me, Joe. You put 150,000 military guys and women there in Greenland. Do you imagine how their economy is just going to go?
There's only 58,000 people in Greenland.
Well, still, if they have, I mean, wherever there's military bases, those countries, man, make a shitload of money off us.
Yep.
yeah.
You know that.
Oh, they do. Oh, yeah, Germany was talking shit. So Germany, they were talking shit about something to do with America the other day. And a guy, I still remember the one guy, there was 3 of them talking. And they're talking about how they go and arrest people and take their cell phones away and all kind of shit now. And he was talking, and the guy said something really nasty about America. He said, "You better watch it." He said, "Do you know how much money America spends in this country?" He said, "Our economy will not be the number one country if they pull out of here."
Can you imagine if they shut down, if all the bases over in Germany right now told everybody, no, you're not allowed in town, you have to stay on base. I bet I'll give it 3 or 4 days, and Germany will be on their hands and knees begging us to open up the thing again.
Yeah, because it's a lot of money. It's a lot,
Yeah,
and it's not just that. They buy a lot of product, and what the United States will do is say, "Okay, we're just not going to buy your product. We're going to fly it in from the United States." And we got big old cargo freaking jets all over the place.
People in Greenland
Just make sure it's a good part of New York. That's all.
Industry.
But don't these assholes in NATO or in NATO, don't they realize we don't even need to cut them off with tariffs, man? Just stop our army guys and Marines from going into town. Think about it, guys. Think about it.
What
We destroyed Holy Rock, Scotland when I was over there. They protested.
Our problem is we got to be careful. If we start destroying things, even if we just doing economies, we risk alienating a lot of people. So we need Europe, not as much as they need us, but we do need Europe. Europe needs us far more than we need. And people forget Europe's actually bigger than the United States population. That's 450 million of them now. Their economy rivals our own, but their military is nowhere near what ours is. And that's what the problem started. This problem started way back with Ronald Reagan, and every president except for Joe Biden has bitched about this. They don't pay their NATO dues, and they don't pay their fucking fair share. If you go look at NATO's equipment, like 85% of it is guess whose? It's ours. So Trump just wants them. Trump wants them to help. He said, look, they don't all have to build a big military. Just each one of them is, how many other states there are. He said each of them, triple their military size. He said it still won't need to be big as ours, but it'll be big enough to hold Russia and China off. And that's what it needs until we can get there. But right now, they have such a small military. Half of Europe be run over before we even got over there, just like what fucking Germany did. And then the Europe's in a bad state. And nobody, by the way, you fucking Germans, nobody's fucking giving you nuclear weapons. You can go fuck yourselves. Germany will never get nuclear weapons. They never deserve to have nuclear weapons. Jesus Christ, I would rather get the fucking Ayatollah a nuclear weapon than you. I mean, 2 world wars you're responsible for. You don't get nukes. No, you lost a privilege after the Second World War. Screw you. Because if you'd had nukes, you'd have nuked everybody in World War II. So you know what yourselves. And wait, it's worse than that. You want us to give you nukes while you're turning into a Nazi fascist country again, cutting off free speech. Because you're saying, okay, well, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. That's what they were doing in the United States, why Trump's president now. I said, because you can't trust the people who are saying this is bad. It might be Michael saying it's bad, but it's actually
It is bad. It's all bad.
It's fucked up. Europe's in a shithole. I don't know what Europe's going to do. Britain, this new person in Britain wants to be friends with Trump. A couple other leaders I see coming out the woods now wanting to be friends with Trump. They're learning, like, you know what? It's better to be his friend than to piss him off. And it just is. And he told a shitting asshole in Brazil, if you don't stop trading with Russia, we're going to put an embargo on your ass. And I ain't heard nothing out of him yet. And what are you going to do? How are you going to stop it? You're not getting into golf. We'll put in a bar. Golf's easy to block. And as far as the other side, we got too many countries over there that are allies. It's just not going to be a good thing, because not only would you have to come in from the other side, but you'd have to bring it in over land through the jungle to get it there. And God knows how safe South America is. But I love y'all in South America, but y'all need to get y'all shit together.
Under control, and they're getting rid of some horrible criminals that, for some reason, the Democrats want to keep around, or these judges are even trying to get in the way.
Mexico's not in South America or Central America. It's North America. And if you don't believe me, just look up the North America Treaty and you'll find out, guess what? It's Canada, United States, and Mexico. That's who it is. Because
this is weird, man, because not all that long ago, during the George W. Bush administration, there were people kicking around the idea of America becoming, together with Northern and then, of course, Mexico, and a new currency called the Amero. They even had a picture of it.
Well, I think Mexico could be talked into it fairly, way easier than the Canadians. You know what?
But do we
There's
want
way
that
more
kind
than
of poverty?
Mexican.
I mean,
Yeah,
that
Well,
there's
it's
a lot of
not.
racism.
So no. Let's examine this for a minute. So, hey Siri, where you at, bitch? How many people live in Mexico?
As of 2024, the population of Mexico was 130,861,000.
So that's okay, Siri. Thank you. So that's perfect. That's a nice increase of our population to put us almost at
That's a
500
third
million.
of what we got now.
That would give us almost 500 million.
A third.
Maybe a little over 500 million, depending on when this happens.
Dude, a third. That's a hell of a lot of
It's
people
perfect.
to take on. It would destroy our economy. We wouldn't be able to do it.
Wouldn't it? It would actually help our economy.
You see these illegal aliens that came here that made billions of costs in a short
So
amount of time?
so what'll happen is they'll still have a border for probably about 15 or 20 years, and it'll just go back and forth for a little while. Eventually, all that'll come down. It might even take 50 years. All that'll come down because there'll have to be population control because you can't have everybody move from Mexico into the United States. And a lot of people would stay, especially because there'd be a lot more money going into Mexico. A lot of the manufacturing jobs would go back because we own it. A lot of other things were going on because we owned it all. It would be a perfect thing. Plus, Mexico is the greatest bottleneck forever for South America. Ain't nobody coming through that little piece of land to get up here. And I think we should take Panama back. That gives us a good control of North and Central America. It gives us a handle on what's going on. And then Greenland would be a good piece to put in there. And then we need to talk to Moby and say, you've been a Commonwealth of the Brits for too long, buddy. You need to come over here with us.
What happened to that?
Well, no, he's not. Moby's great.
Burritos rule the world.
So as Trump was with Moby, Trump had actually expressed the idea of the United States becoming a Commonwealth of Britain.
What?
Yeah.
Hey Joe, there's a song in the private chat for break time, which is coming up in a few minutes here.
that would make us kissing cousins with the Canadians. See, from where I'm from, Louisiana, we're already kissing cousins with the Canadians because the Canadians. No, because I come from Cajun country.
To me, they're
They
just
got
the obscure
the
cold people
Acadians
that
and
live to the north.
Acadian.
You know what I mean? That's all.
They even speak the same
Obscure
language.
north people. That's it. The ones who live on the border seem to be the most normal. The ones who get further from that border, I know what's up there in Saskatchewan. There is a cool train.
Hey, we got a host that live in
that goes from
Saskatchewan, man. You better be nice.
Vancouver, man.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we got hosts that live up there in hell.
They're on the border. They're like practically, Amelia's practically a New Yorker, man. She's right there.
What's funny is a few times over the years, my wife and I's phone would be weird, and all of a sudden, the little direction thing that would tell you where you're at would say, you're in Saskatchewan at 5,000 feet, because it tells you the altitude you're at. It's happened. I've posted it on Facebook several times. It's happened several times. Sometimes it's my phone, sometimes it's her phone.
I wonder if Google can do that. Let me see something.
And generally, when you do that, it's what the hell is that? Generally, when you do that, one of the other phones isn't working. It's really strange. It's happened on multiple occasions.
Altitude.
You're being called to Saskatchewan.
I didn't understand.
Yeah. Worries me exactly what was going on in Saskatchewan. We ain't gonna worry about it tonight.
Alien,
we're getting ready to go to break, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta go take a ride. We gotta go for about 8 to 10 minutes. I want everyone to behave. Go get you some food. I don't know what these guys this weed they keep talking about. I don't know what that stuff is. I hear it's out there in California, Colorado, but what's that, Jesse? No, I'm sweet and innocent. I don't know what none of that crap is. I don't even drink, man. Yes. No, I don't even smoke cigarettes. I'm just boring. Yeah. I'm boring. Yes, I am. What do you mean bullshit? What are you talking about bullshit? Bullshit. Yeah, bullshit. Double bullshit. How's that? I'll post some Star Trek shit on your ass. Bullshit. Yeah, we've got to get that little clip with that little kid on the bullshit. I love that little kid. I haven't seen him lately, but that shit is too fun. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to break. That's not what y'all going to get to hear right now. That won't be on for a couple of minutes yet, but you can see it right there. That's what you're going to get to listen to in just a few seconds. Or in a few minutes, I'm sorry, I said a few seconds. But we will be going over to promos, and you get to hear some great promos and stuff. And I think the next promo is from Negotiating Happiness.
Welcome to Negotiating Happiness, the show that helps you find happiness, success, and balance in your work and life. I'm Adriana Fierster, your host for this journey into entrepreneurship and personal growth. We're broadcasting live on 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans as part of the United Public Radio Network. We explore the latest strategies, insights, and stories from successful entrepreneurs and experts. From managing stress to building a thriving business, we've got you covered.
Hey, Mama San.
Welcome to
The Church of Mavis Radio Show, Friday nights at 8 p.m., 7 Central, starring Jeffrey Pritchett with his co-hosts Wham and Jay McNicholas, right here on the United Paranormal Radio Network, UPRN 107.7 FM, New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans people. You know, you ever heard New Orleans people you fuck around and went to kick your ass, man. So you're crying like a bitch.
Hi, I'm Brittany Ashley, your host of Breaking Norms, Building Dreams, your guide through this transformative journey in both business and life. This is your place crafted for dreamers, doers, or anyone who has been told they can't. Get ready as we challenge those narratives together. You're tuning in live to the United Public Radio Network, airing on 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. We are streaming on all the popular platforms every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for a candid and thought-provoking conversation celebrating your unique journey because you are worth it.
Sorry about that.
Hi, and thank you all for joining us today. We are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in New Orleans.
Welcome to Paratruth.
Welcome to Paranormal Heart Podcast with host Kat Ward.
This is the United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM in New Orleans and 105.3 in the Gulf Coast.
Everybody's heard about the bird. Bird's a winner when a bird. Bird is a winner when a bird. When a bird is a winner when a bird. The bird's a winner when a bird. When a bird is a winner when a bird. Bird's a winner when a bird.
Yeah, it's not working.
The bird's a Everybody's heard about the bird.
The covers are bad.
What's out there? What creates the shadows in the corners or the creatures of the dark? Who are those on the other side? What do they have to say? This is the Gateway Podcast. This is not your normal style of paranormal talk radio. Brought to you live from United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM New Orleans.
I'm not sure why the sound of it. It's kind of weird that we wanted to play there. That's kind of strange. So, no, it's kind of very weird. Oh, wait, let's see what this one is. No, I'm just looking to see what we got on here.
When they are consuming your minds and your thoughts and your dreams, from the angels to the demons and to the mysteries unseen, there is no need to worry. There is no need for dread. It's just time to discuss the thing at the foot of the bed.
Well, I guess we ain't getting no music because the song didn't work. Welcome back, everybody. It was very strange. It played, but it didn't play any audio. I know how things are just weird in the world sometimes. Trump, see, Donald Trump is ever saying, Trump loves you. He loves all of you people. He loves Canadians and Australians. You notice he hasn't been picking on the Australians, has he?
Yeah, I noticed that.
Some other countries haven't been picking on either. Why is that? Why is it Canadian and the Canadas and the Mexicanadas? Why is that, huh? Why is he picking on them two so bad? And we know why he's picking on Greenland. We just talked about it. But why hate on Canada? I mean, even with terrorists, Canada's economy is 1/10 of ours. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could just say, let's put 100% of tariffs on 20 things, and Canada's bankrupt and don't have anything to do. They'll be sneaking across the border so they'll be able to eat. So that's not really a fair thing. So why is he really doing this? He's not going to do that. Because we need to. What do you mean, Jimmy? The reason he wants Canada has nothing to do with the Canadians. It has to do. He wants their border. He doesn't trust them to control their border, and 9/11 proves they can't control their border. What do you mean? The people who blew up the Twin Towers came from Canada. Yeah, they came across the border in Canada. Canada's got very loose laws allowing people to come into their country. And the United States don't want any more fentanyl, and they don't want any more terrorists. So they're cracking down on the borders. And if Canada was part of the United States, then we wouldn't have to crack down on the middle border. We just have to watch the borders around the edges, and that's not as hard as you think it is with satellites and stuff. Yeah, we can look for heat signatures and things like that. And being it's so cold, a good chunk of Canada, no one's going to sneak in that way anyway. So it's just going to really be on the Pacific coast or the Atlantic coast, somewhere from the middle down. That's not that much territory to keep an eye on. Stick some Coast Guard up there and let them watch it. Well, a lot of people will tell you if they've got the money, they prefer to take a boat up to Canada and come in Canada and then come through Canada into the United States. Yeah, it sucks. How many Americans are sneaking into Canada? None. They want to go to Canada, just go legally. Yeah. Well, no, because you get caught. What do you mean? Would they kick them out? I'm sure they would. I would hope they would anyway. Why is that thing doing that? I can hear this. Crazy. Stop that. It's come on, Mike, stop that. Sorry, guys, I keep hearing this ticking in my mic. It's making me nuts.
It's gonna blow.
Somebody yanked it a couple of days ago, and ever since then.
No, I think that mic is getting excited.
That's right. You're fondling your microphone
I guess he's not allowed to go to Colorado no more, people. Mm-hmm. That was a while ago, and look at him. He's still like,
It's
whoa.
gonna be Canada next, man. Saskatchewan. Up there.
Actually, Jesse, I got a lot of friends in Canada. I don't see anything happen bad to
It's like
Canadians.
50 below zero in Saskatchewan
I have
all year long.
the station. We have 7 hosts in Canada, and my station manager's from Canada. Yeah,
we love Canada.
So I don't have anything against Canada.
I love Canada. I just don't like the people who run Canada.
Yeah.
Well, their liberal party definitely sucks.
That could be the same thing said of almost every country. Almost everybody loves where they're
So
from.
what I'm scared is, what I'm really scared about is they're going to make a fatal mistake and they're going to put liberals in office, and then Trump's going to say, "Really? That's what you're going to do?" And he's just going to nail a living crap out of them, and then Canada's just going to go spiraling down, and then they'll have to kick these people all out because sometimes people get dumb. Because I've been listening to their media. Their media has not said anything nice about Trump in any shape, form, or fashion, and they have taken no blame for why this is going on. And Trump, he's going to be like, look, if you're not going to take some of the blame for this, and guess what? It's just going to get worse. Now, he did meet with the new prime minister today. We had a phone call with him today, and they both said it was very cordial, whatever that means.
They have to say that, Joe.
No, they were legit. You could hear it in their voices. Trump was smiling. The guy was smiling.
Yeah, cordial just means very friendly.
Yeah. So, and with this, the guy might help him to win prime minister, since he always seems to be talking friendly to Trump.
I don't trust it. I don't trust the news.
Well, you shouldn't, because you news sucks. It's not much of it is honest anymore. What's that, Jimmy Ray?
Ford, dude, threatening to shut everybody's electricity off here in the United States.
Well, not everybody. It's just 3 states, but
it's still, Joe. Come on.
Yeah, it's a
lot of territory.
But first off, that's a death wish. I'm not even sure how the U.S. would take that. I'm not even sure if we went and send troops in to take those plants over. That would be a very naughty thing for Canada to do. And what? Europe's going to send troops over here? They won't even send troops to the Ukraine.
France sent troops.
Oh, see, now it's going to start World War III, man.
Yep.
It's always the French.
The motherfuckers ain't learned a lesson.
No, it wasn't. It was actually the Germans who started World War II and World War I.
Yeah,
it was
yeah, but no, the French started Vietnam.
The French.
The Germans are the motherfuckers who got millions killed, probably 100 million so now.
I think the U.S. has succeeded them in that and on the wars we've had since.
Nah, not even close. Not even close. Vietnam, we only lost 63,000. I think we killed with 30. Even in the Middle East, I think we only killed 2 million, 5 million. Wasn't a lot. I know it sounds like a big number of people when you talk about wars like World War II, where 53 million people were killed. That's a big difference. It would take the U.S. a long time, and since the Desert Storm Wars, we're very efficient on how we get killed. I mean, we only lost 5,000 troops, and we killed, I think, 4 or 5 million. But I think I had seen the total just recently. It was under 18 million for the last 4 wars. So that's pretty low.
We killed more of our own troops than they did in Desert Storm.
It was
collateral damage. Yeah.
There's a couple times. Yeah, there's a couple times we blew the living shit out of each other. Had nothing to do. We just were rolling in thinking it was something else. Mainly helicopters attacking tanks. Thank God it wasn't A-10s. I mean, what are you going to do with that? What's that, Jesse? No, I mean, don't want no freaking A-10s rolling in a bunch of tanks because they're going to be scrap metal afterwards. Yeah. I don't want to be the guy fighting with the A-10. I'd rather have the A-10 on my side.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd rather have him on my side. It's one of my favorites. Yeah. Well, who's this cute woman on my page? Oh, that's Carrie.
It's nearly indestructible, the A-10. They made it so it could take so much gunfire yet and still carry thousands of pounds of bombs and plus those amazing guns on it. My God.
I gotta go get me.
You hear that cannon going off? Oh man, people like in the field to be like, "Oh my God, man, it's the worst thing you hear. It's coming after you."
Let's see what we got here. Do we got anything good here to play? I got all kind of links. This one's a minute. If I can find it. Oh, is this the play button right here? Okay, let's see what this crap is.
What we playing?
I don't know. I got a bunch of it. I forgot what a lot of them were for, so we're going to find out the hard way. Well, I mean, most of them.
Potluck.
Most of them have. This is Jay's new girlfriend, Jasmine Crockett. That's not her right there, but I think this is what this is about. Let's see. Where is the big screeny thingy? And is it up on the screen with us yet? Can't see. No, it's not. There it goes. There we go. Look how pretty. Let's hit the play button and see what.
The service of America. The other thing that we've been covering this week is some have called her a new star in the Democratic Party, Jasmine Crockett. She is from Texas. She had a very disparaging remark about Governor Abbott, who is in a wheelchair. He called him Governor Hot Wheels, and then she tried to very messily walk it back. Hillary Vaughn called up with her yesterday in the hallway, and she was more shy.
I saw your comment explaining your comment calling Governor Abbott Hot Wheels. I put out a statement regarding that. You didn't apologize. I put out a statement. Why would I apologize when I put out a statement? My statement was good. But you didn't apologize for calling him Governor Hot Wheels when he gets around in a wheelchair. I don't know how that's offensive. I don't understand. People on the disability.
You tear her up, baby. Whoever you are, Blondie.
You apologize.
Putting out a statement is not an apology, sweetheart.
Someone using a wheelchair. The Governor Hot Wheels.
That don't make
All
it
right.
too good. So y'all seen Jasmine Crockett? She's been all over the place lately. She's a nutter butter, and she's trying to be AOC is what she's trying to do, but she's just AOC is stupid, but this girl makes AOC look smart, and that's just scary. You know, things like that scare me. That somebody can make AOC look smart. I mean, come on.
We're just a bunch of bought and paid for bubbleheads, man. They're not real in the real world. You know what I mean? Just bullcrap.
So let's see. Is this now this guy, this Stephen A. Smith guy, he's been interesting. Now he started out as a big time Trump hater. Where is he at? There he is. Let's go bring him up here and see what he's got to say about Trump.
I like Stephen A. Good
Here
man.
we go. He's going to get up here and talk about us. Yeah, but he was anti-Trump in the beginning. And where's he at? There he is. All right.
Stephen A. Smith, Stephen A. Smith, who regrets voting Democrats, gives his opinion on President Trump and gives stunning response.
The man was impeached twice. He was convicted on 34 felony counts. And the American people still said, he's closer to normal than what we see. Exactly. That's what they're saying. He's closer to normal. Why? Because something that pertains, when you talk about the transgender community, for example, when you're talking about issues that pertain to less than 1% of the population, the Democratic Party came across as if that was a priority more so than the other issues. And so he comes into office. Now you're talking about childbirth, citizenship, and what have you. He knows that's not going to pass the mustard, but he knows that he made that promise. So when he shows up week one on Capitol Hill and he says, this is what we're going to do through an executive order, even though it's going to be shot down through the courts and what have you, he's saying, I kept my promise. A lot of other things that he's going to point to that he's going to try to do, I kept my promise. Then you turn around and you look at the left and you say, what promises did you keep? Now, you might know the answer to that. I'm certainly not questioning your knowledge about that at all. What I'm saying is what resonated with the voter. What voter out there can look at the Democratic Party at this moment in time and say, there's a voice for us, somebody that speaks for us, that goes up on Capitol Hill and fights the fights that we want them fighting on our behalf. They didn't do that. And that's why their behinds are home, and that man is back into the White House, and they want to sit up there and talk. You look at the networks right now, they're talking about him. Look at it. This is the latest. Look at him. Here he goes again. Well, you know what here he goes again means? He's doing what he said he was going to do. He promised you he was going to do these things, and he walked into office week one, and that's exactly what he's doing. And he's saying, y'all do something about it. And when you try to do something about it, he's going to say, look at them now. Now they're concerned about these issues. Were they talking about that during the campaign? Hell no. That's really it.
Yeah. Stephen A. Smith, who regrets voting Democrats, gives his.
See, that's just what we were talking about with Greenland. That's how Trump does things. He plays it off of other people. And Stephen A. Smith's done learned that he should have voted Republican. I bet he votes Republican next time. Of course, the Democrats have really completely and totally lost their minds lately. I mean, when you listen to him lately, you're not even sure what to think of it. There was a clip I had seen. Something I had seen with Adam Schiff.
They don't have any leadership. Is the problem with the Democratic Party right now?
Oh, shut up, woman.
They're totally fragmented. They're fighting. We talked about this a long time ago on this show. How the Democratic Party was going to just end up fighting each other and then trying to destroy each other, the factions inside. But and the Republicans, you know, Trump is really not a Republican. He's a Republican with a small R.
He's more like a centrist.
He's not. Yeah, he's a centrist and he's very independent, but he knows what he needs to do. You know, like that dude said, he made a promise. He goes and he does it. You know, and then it is what it is. But whatever, man. We'll see.
Where's Jay at, man? Just send me that bogus song, Jay. Shame on you.
What song?
That song he sent just didn't work. When we went to the break earlier. Okay, what we got here? Let's see.
I got songs, man. Should I play a song?
Well, no, we're not playing a song now. We got a whole half hour for we had. No, you're not allowed to play songs. That's right. I forgot about that.
Play a song.
You banned from playing songs.
You didn't like
man.
Leo P? That guy's from.
You are banned, man.
Remember Adam Schiff, star of the Schiff Show? Remember Adam Schiff, star.
Why the hell did it do that?
Leo P is from Pittsburgh.
Remember Adam Schiff?
All right, hold on a second,
dude.
All right, here we go. Let me put this on. She's just somebody. Nobody special. Just a chick.
Nobody special.
All right, let's play her.
Remember Adam Schiff, star of the Schiff Show?
Dangerous. I think you've been censored for lying. I was censured for standing up to a corrupt president. And you know something? I would do it all over again. Because that corrupt president, that president who's been indicted with 91 felony counts, that president that you won't refuse to support, yeah, he's a danger. And I will stand up to him and Kevin McCarthy and Jim Jordan and any of those MAGA enablers of his in the Congress. The reason why our democracy is in trouble is because folks don't have the courage to stand up when they need to. Sir, you lied to 300 million people. You can't take that back.
Oof, he got taken down. Remember
300 million people. That's a lot of people to lie to. I doubt it was that many, but still, you know, I guess he's talking about the American public in general. Adam Shitty Schiff has lied more times than anybody I've seen so far, except for maybe Maxine Waters.
I believe he believes in his lies.
They couldn't have when he was doing stuff like when he was going on CNN and saying, "Oh, we got more stuff about Trump. It's coming out. It's coming out." I think he was just making the shit up to try to keep it going. He was hoping that what Adam Schiff was actually doing was he was trying to get stuff going and hoping by saying it would manifest, but it just didn't because it wasn't real. He put too much faith into Hillary Rodham Clinton is what he did. And, of course, it came back to bite him in the you-know-what. It's just how it is sometimes. You know,
Adam Schiff is
Adam Shitty Schiff.
I actually believe he's evil. The word.
Oh, I don't doubt that even a little bit.
And what it describes, I think that he's in that whole club with Hillary and the rest of them, man. You know, you saw what they were talking about, black magic and stuff like that. It was in their emails. You know what I mean? And then they you know, that Podesta and the whole bit, they tried to play it down. But yet they're into some bad stuff, those guys, man. You know what I mean?
I guess actually
no matter what you believe in it, it's what they're into.
Yeah, I guess it must not work good for them since none of them are in office anymore.
No.
Apparently eating
sounds like the opposite.
Is not a good way to get there, huh? What's that, Jimmy Lee? You know what? I don't know. We'll find out there as the show goes on. I mean, Trump has always got his nose in this something. He's always trying to finish stuff. And Eli's being punished, though, it's going to come to a head. That's going to cause a real big problem in our country pretty soon. And somewhere along the line, I think Trump's going to say, you know what, we're just going to give him $100 billion for because he saved so much money from us. Then the Democrats
the
really
liberals are burning his electric cars. Like they like electric cars, but then they're burning. They're setting fire to the power stations.
Well, okay,
let's name Tesla.
You know what's funny about that is, I shouldn't say funny. So I think it's 3 million people in the United States have their 401ks in Tesla.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and wait, most of them are liberals. And when you know the majority of people driving Teslas are liberals. Mm-hmm. So the people that are on your side, you're fucking hurting. you know, you get whatever you get out of that, people. That's all I can tell you. That's just pathetic. The Democrats are in disarray. They don't know what's going on. They don't know how to save themselves. They're completely, utterly lost. I mean, when you start hearing stuff like, "Oh, AOC and Jasmine Crockett are going to be the party leaders," then you know the party's dead. Because none of the centrists will stay. If either one of them two get a leader position, they'll all leave. They'll all probably either start a new party, become independents or Republicans, but they'll leave the Democratic Party, which will hurt them majorly because they got a bunch of seats.
They need to do like Fetterman and people like him, you know. But I don't know if they can even.
But I can tell you this too: if AOC and Jasmine become the face of the party, Fetterman's going to leave too. He's not going to stay because it's an embarrassment.
Guilty
Why
by
would anybody stay? Yeah, nobody's going to stay with them. I mean, you can't have. I mean, they're low class, low brow, have no power. No one's going to care about them. No one's going to do business with them. No big companies are going to be
actually
interested.
stupid.
No one's going to lobby them.
AOC and that other one, they're dumb. It's dumb. It's not even ignorant because ignorant can learn. I don't think they can learn. They were handpicked for a reason, and wasn't their brain power. It was because of their rapper and how they appealed to the groups they wanted to appeal to. They were handpicked. You know, AOC, they said, was handpicked out of 10,000. 10,000. And they chose her. They put millions behind her. She was just some nobody bartender. They put millions. She doesn't even know what the hell she's talking about. But yet there she is, man, in power. No, now she has millions of bucks. She hasn't even been there all that long. They don't get paid a lot of money. They have.
She's got some money. She ain't made with some of these other.
They have to have an office in D.C. They have to be, have a place where they came from, and she doesn't have any of that. They said she's never had residence in New York anymore. It's all bullcrap, dude. It's bullcrap.
Well, if she loses her, if she don't have a residence, she can lose her office.
This is why people are pissed off at establishment politics, because they're full of liars, thieves, and robber barons. Really,
Okay, let's play this lady here. Whoops.
This is not
get out here,
an American. Senator Mullen.
Today, I'm going to expose some of the initiatives USAID has funded over the years and ask each of you a yes or no question.
Oh, this is great. I forgot.
If you believe these expenditures of American taxpayer dollars put America first. So it'll be yes or no. USAID awarded $2 million to strengthen trans-led organizations to deliver gender-affirming health care in Guatemala.
No.
So to each of you this morning, does this advance the interests of American citizens paying for trannies in Guatemala to the tune of $2 million?
No.
Yes or no? Governor?
I have no position.
Of course you don't. Okay, USAID awarded over $750,000 to fund alleviating loneliness among migrant garment workers in India. Does this advance America's interests, Governor?
No.
No. I have no position.
USAID awarded $1.5 million for providing a gender-sensitive response to migration at the Venezuelan border. Does this advance America's interests, Governor?
No.
No. I have no position.
I have no position.
Does this advance the interest? Okay, so USAID awarded $4.3 million on October 1st, 2023 to a group to fund comprehensive health services for men having sex with other men in South Africa. Does this advance the interests of American citizens, Governor?
No.
No. I have no position.
I bet you don't.
Okay. I love this.
USAID awarded $1.5 million to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbia's workplaces and business communities by promoting economic empowerment and opportunity for LGBTQI plus people in Serbia. Does this advance America's interests?
No.
I want to see some fucking receipts for this shit.
Nope.
You have no idea, right? Okay. USAID awarded over $70,000 to a group to deliver a live musical event to promote the U.S. and Irish shared values of diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. Does this advance the interests of America?
No.
No. I have no position.
No position or no clue?
No, this one. She's like, you fucking. I mean, this is 3 governors from our country. And, you heard it's USAID people. Well, people always call it USAID, but it's USAID, USAID. But so y'all think that was good money? Was that a good expenditure of money? I mean, we're talking, I could use some of that money. Jesus. Oh, Elon Musk get ready to give them out millions again. There's an election going on somewhere. I don't know how that has anything to do with us. We don't even take care of our own gays. We're going to go around starting getting involved with other people. So I'm confused. Gay people, y'all should have an uprising over that shit. That's all money could have been going to y'all.
You know what's funny, man? What Dave Chappelle, amazing comedian, what he said that he's like, because the LGBTQ community is very much against him because he makes jokes about trans and whatever. But he said, you know what's interesting is that this group makes up maybe 1.5% or 2% of the public, but yet look how far they've come in their politics. And he said, look at black people and how they've been struggling in all of this over the years, decades and decades, in the United States, and then yet they still couldn't gain any ground like the LGBTQ. So it was a political movement, It wasn't like a social movement, LGBTQ, because you know what? Nobody really flaunts their sexuality. Homo sapiens, homosexuals, who cares? People are what they are. But there's political groups that said, no, you deserve better or more special things because you're like this. And then they're putting the spotlight on that. Yet what they're doing is discriminatory and it's bigotry, like saying, okay, you're trans, so you deserve more, or you're gay, so you deserve more. You know what I mean? How about everybody just has equal rights, and that's all what you got, But it went. They pandered, and then they know what they were doing, the Democrats, and it blew up in their face, because now people are so sick of hearing the word trans, they don't want to even hear it. They don't want to know from it, and they're pissed off. That whole Bud Light fiasco with that dude. Oh man, look what happened to that. That brand. You know what I mean? So people, I think people have had enough, and that was all Democrat stuff, out of control, and it had nothing. It's like that dude said.
This old lady here had enough.
It's like the dude said, it had nothing to do with representation of people. It was all just these groups that they were pandering to.
So Sean's wife's here. She got something to say. Apparently she's pissed off. So let's take a look at what she's got to say. I mean, I like what she's saying. That's good.
Yeah, you sit here every night.
To live their lives being protected from offense or from insult or from hurt feelings. It is an occupational hazard of living in society. And if you really can't take it, become a hermit. Nobody has the right to live their lives being protected from offense or from insult or from hurt feelings.
That's right. You tell him, baby. I don't even know who that was.
I hear that every night, Joe.
She's, do you? Oh, shit. What the hell did this come from? Sorry. Facebook decided to go out on its own, and let's get back where you belong. Come on, stop. I hate when it does that. Stay where you're supposed to be. Let's see what else we got on here. Wait, what is this? Agitator in crowd. Oh, wait, what's agitator in crowd? That could be good. This could be Michael.
Is this a Charlie Kirk one?
No, this is, I don't know what this is. Let's go see. I think it's Michael's in the crowd, actually.
I used to get in trouble all the time for inciting riots, believe it.
I think he's the agitator in the crowd, people. So we're going to listen right quick and find out. Whoops, let's put it up where we can present. Okay, where the hell did it go? There it is. Okay, I thought that's where it was. Oh, there it is. Sorry. It moved on me, people.
Oh, Kamala.
America's future. And we understand the opportunity we have before us to turn the page on the fear.
Loser. Go crawl back in your vodka barrel. Kamala.
We are fighting for America's future. And we understand the opportunity we have before us to turn the page on the fear.
Somebody in the arena said turn up the whatchamacallit. Yeah, I don't know. People's crazy. Some of the stuff that we get. I mean, it's all stuff that comes across my pages. This is where we were just talking about Jasmine Crockett. They pressed charges against her for attacking a reporter in the hallway the other day. I think they said they scratched him, which I'm still confused by. Oh, wait, this is great. Okay, this is a Canadian person. Here we go. Hold on. Good friend. Here we go. Let's put this up here. Oh, is it going to work? It's not going to work? Oh, there it is. Okay. Stop. Shut up. I think this is it. Let's see. I could be wrong. Somebody bring me lunch. I'm just freaking starving, mate.
Canadian bacon and Swiss.
Shut the fuck up. I'm hungry, man. Okay, what is this?
In healthcare, I need an MRI to see if I have a
you're gonna love this.
brain tumor. And go ahead, guess what it is. Go ahead, guess. It's in 2026. 2026. My MRI to see if I have a brain tumor is in 2026. It's March 2025 right now. And if you thought this was bad, it's actually worse than you thought, because the appointment where we decided that I need this MRI was in December of last year. So it's not like it's 10 months from now. It's 13 months. It's a 13-month wait to see if I have a brain tumor.
She's dead.
At first, I just thought this was a mistake, because having an MRI every year is like a monitoring timeline. Like, I already have an MRI every year for my spine tumor, which is why we think maybe I have a brain tumor too.
I mean, she's dead. If she's got a real tumor in her head, she's got to wait 13 months to get an X-ray. I mean, an MRI. She's dead.
She doesn't know how to play the system, man.
Well, no, it's a Canadian system. It's different. So I had a couple of friends up there. One of them was a good friend of ours and a contributing member to one of our organizations. And he used to have heart problems. It would take him 6-7 months sometimes just to get an appointment. And then 6-7 months. So he wanted to, I had to get a stent. I had to get a stent. This is how my stent went. I went into the hospital. I went and see my doctor, and I went in the hospital. 3 days later, they gave me a stent. I was out back to work on the fourth day. This guy's a year in, hadn't even got his thing. He ended up having a heart attack and killing him before he could get to his surgery.
That sucks.
So everybody always talks about how good the Canadian system is. It's not. If you're not one of the rich people, it's not. It's a sucky system. It's actually quite sucky. You got to be one of the lucky ones, not one of the poor people. Well, Canadians poor is different than American poor is, but still.
A lot of Canadians come here to the U.S. to get doctors.
Yeah. Look how many Americans go to Mexico to get dental work.
Yep. It's cheap.
That's way cheaper. And actually, they got they call it dental tourism.
Yeah, man. There's a resort. You stay in a resort.
Yeah, it's all wigged up. They take good care of you too, from what I hear.
Good chompers and get hang out in a nice resort, and you save thousands of dollars, man.
Who was it? One of our hosts. Who was? Oh, Kathy Belsky. She went and had a bunch of stuff done. And they did a good job on it too. She said she was happy about everything. She said there wasn't no big problems or anything. They set up the airfare, set up the hotel, set up the dental work, got it all done. So they took good care of you while they were there and sent you home. It was like, well, what the hell? It's got to be driving dentists in the United States crazy. So I don't even remember what this is. So we're going to find out together. Oh, I don't hear nothing. There we go.
Else. Hunter Biden is a crack addict with hookers. Joe Biden sold access to the U.S. government to Chinese communists. Pelosi is rich from insider trading. Stephen D'Antuono of the FBI staged the Gretchen Whitmer
we don't endorse any of these people.
January 6th. Mayorkas allowed the invasion of our border. Epstein's clients walked free. Dr. Fauci lied about funding gain-of-function experiments that created the COVID-19 virus. Pfizer and Moderna lied about the safety of their mRNA COVID jab. Andrew Cuomo killed.
Just because you're mouth, we're gonna have to put this on down.
This woman's right.
Planned Parenthood sold aborted baby body parts.
I'm sure she's single.
Shall I go on? These people are all walking free, and yet
Shut up.
is the one who's convicted for paying his attorney.
Shut up.
But Michael, she's blonde hair. She has blonde hair, Michael.
F up. Shut up and go make me a sandwich.
She's out of here, but just because of her, we'll have to put the show on private mode now.
She's saying all this obvious shit. And the sun came up this morning, and then the moon came up at night. Shut up.
Oh wait, I forgot about this. We got to play this one. This one's important. This one of the reasons I even copied all of this crap to start off with. Let me go find this. Oh, that one? No, that's no telling.
God, freaking psycho.
I love to put those rant and raving things on. Those are always fun. Wait, where'd you go? Okay, cancel. What the hell? That go?
Shut up. Sometimes it's fun to tell people to shut up.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can find this again. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Just because of that, I am going to choose a song. I think people overwhelmingly want me to choose one there.
It's like, no, Michael's on crack drugs, man. Where the hell did this thing run off to? Usually they come right up. I wonder what's going on, huh? It's
Nancy Sinatra. I should play something to kind of counteract that.
It's
Nancy Sinatra.
So I want y'all to hear this piece if I can figure out how to get it on damn. Let's try this a different way. Maybe you don't want to do it that way.
What happened?
I don't know. It won't let me find it on the list for some reason, and I know it's there because I'm looking at it. So yeah, you never know. Sometimes shit just goes where it wants to go.
That's for sure.
It's
That's for sure.
It's what's that, Christopher? No, the universe has its own issues. It don't need us. It's like I was talking to somebody earlier today about don't limit the creator, man. I mean, come on. Why would you limit the creator? Do you think you're better than the creator? That's like a straight ticket to hell, I would think, man.
So we are in hell. When I die, I'm going. We are in hell, dude. When I die, I'm going to someplace better.
I'm telling you, if you think this is hell, you're in trouble because this ain't hell. This is like the warm up station for hell. Because hell's so full these days, you gotta spend 160 years before you can even get through the damn gate.
Purgatory, man.
A lot of people do think it's purgatory, but you know.
Michael the archangel took Satan, threw him out of heaven, down to earth, and then heaven. When Satan got to earth with a whole bunch of his other angels, they formed a city called Purgatory, and that was like the perfect place where you didn't have to live by God's law and all of that. So that's where we are.
Well, I'm going to get you on the show, one of my shows, Michael, and we'll debate that. We'll debate that.
Anyway, let's play this. This is a clip. This is Michael's girlfriend, Nancy Pelosi, in her own words on Jan 6, people. So this should tell you something. Mainstream media don't want to play this, and there's other clips.
How old is she now? 140?
I don't know, but this is a good clip because there's one of these when she's walking that hall, but this is her daughter's taking this in the car with her. So let's go ahead and see it. No, it's not AI because it's the real thing. It's already been authenticated.
It's the real thing.
It's one of them things. So we might play it.
For what was going on there, and we should have. This is ridiculous. You're going to ask me in the middle of the thing when they've already breached the inaugural.
It's talking about Jan 6, people.
Should we call the Capitol Police? I mean, the National Guard? Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with?
Because you were supposed to put them there?
They thought that they had sufficient
That
resources.
is not a question of how they have been. They don't know. They clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them just prepare.
You heard that. She said she took responsibility, but yet she blamed it on Trump.
Responsibility, Terry. We did not have any accountability for what was going on there, and we should have. This is ridiculous. You're going to ask me in the middle of the thing when they've already breached the
So, ladies and gentlemen, that is Nancy Pelosi being filmed by her daughter, talking about what happened the day of Jan 6. Now, you heard her take responsibility, but yet they still went after Trump. This tells you how twisted and sick the Liberal Party actually is.
Oh, yeah.
So all those people went to jail and all that other trouble and all that came out of there, and Nancy took responsibility for this to happen. She knew that the National Guard should have been there. And it was only her, and she was the only one that could call them. Trump can't put the National Guard somewhere. Only the governors can. And in D.C., there's not a governor, so it's usually the mayor's job. But for some reason, because she's Speaker of the House, she could put him there because she's the Speaker of the House in D.C. So at the time, she was anyway. I don't know, guys. See what happened? But she admitted to it. And that's not the only clip. There's another clip of her walking down the hallway, leaving and talking about this. There's no doubt about it. Why you don't see it all over the news is beyond me. Why they don't want to talk about it is beyond me, because it doesn't go after Trump. That's why. And if this would have got out during the Jan 6 hearings, of course, all those people would have had to been let go. What do you mean, B? No, so you can talk about Jan 6 all you want. It's nothing compared to the BLM riots. It's not even in the same category. BLM riots, there was lots of people that were killed, lots of people were raped, billions of dollars of businesses destroyed. There was barely any damage to the Capitol building, hardly anything destroyed at all. There was one death, and it wasn't caused by the rioters themselves. So they were just unprepared. And what I didn't understand, you had the DC police say, why don't you just shoot in a couple of rounds of tear gas? That would have cleared the crowd in about 15 minutes. They didn't want the crowd cleared out. That was the problem. They wanted this to happen. That was the whole problem.
I got a friend who was a police officer in DC, man. They were told to stand down and but basically put their hands in their pockets and do nothing. They wanted the carnage because they want to see how far the so-called Trump supporters are willing to go, so they can put the spotlight and say, look, that's MAGA people that messed up and whatever. And they got what they wanted. I mean, it was terrible what happened.
Well, they didn't actually get what they wanted. They kind of made what they wanted. There wasn't enough damage or anything that really went on with those Jan 6 things for them to have gone crazy like they did. That was just taking advantage of something. And now that we've got the truth, then what do you do? Oh, yeah, we're going to play what's her name tonight. I forgot. We got Cutie Pie.
It got real for Pelosi because she was in there in that chamber. And then when the protesters were right outside the door, and then that's when that woman got shot, you know what I mean? Because one of the guards there shot her, they were getting out of hand. I mean, so I think it got very real for a lot of people there, but it should never have happened. It should just never have happened.
Oh, it definitely got real. That's why you could hear it in the car when she's talking. It definitely got real.
Where's Jay at?
Jay fell asleep, man.
He's asleep.
He's snoring somewhere. He's over there.
No, I'm here. I was just looking at
yeah, it's because he heard his name. He woke up, man. See how he barely can even talk.
We have over 200 years of experience on this show, man. Over 200 years.
Oh, God. Shut up, Michael.
That's a lot of years.
Oh, shit. Here, we got to go to break, so we're going to play this song. We're going to do some promos, and we'll be back probably about 10 minutes or less. This is Pretty Reckless. I'm only playing it because I know Sean's got the highs for. I would tell Michael about it, but she'd kill Michael, so we can't have that. Oh no, you're talking about the redhead. Oh, one of these days I'll play some of her stuff. She's another hard rocker. She's I can't think of her name now. Yeah, she's a crazy bitch. Yes, she is. You know, while this is playing, I might look for a version of hers for the last break. But no Julio tonight, man. We're not in a Julio kind of mood tonight, so sorry. Assholes. Fucking assholes. Anyway, we're gonna play this song, and we're gonna take a break. And why don't you go make me a roast beef and gravy sandwich, man? Chop chop. Yeah, man, come on. You know how to cook. I've eaten your food before, dude. You're an asshole.
Limburger cheese on rye bread.
She has huge feet, man. Look at that. It's like alien feet.
Right in the seat, man.
Dude, those like
oh my God. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in a few minutes and take a listen to the song, and
it's
until
like
we get the
15s right there.
Adios.
Look at his feet. How big they are.
Jimmy's in the back with a pocket of high. If you listen close, you can hear him cry. Oh, Lord, heaven knows we belong way down below. Sing it. Oh, Lord, heaven knows
This should be the fucking theme song for the show.
way down below, way down below.
Is that the same girl from the Sunday Night Football song too?
Judy's in the front seat picking up trash. Living on the dole, gotta make that cash. Won't be pretty, won't be sweet. She's just sitting there on her feet singing, oh Lord, heaven knows we belong way down below. Go. Oh Lord, heaven knows
Actually, Samantha, play her because she's local. Miss Cooper.
Sing, oh Lord, tell us so. We belong way down below. Oh Lord, tell us so. We belong way down below, way down below, way down below, way down below, way down below. I've had better days, man. I've seen better days. I've had better ways, man. I know better ways. 1, 2, 3, and 4. The devil's knocking at your door. Caught in the eye of a dead man's eye. Start your life with your head held high. Now you're on your knees with your head on low. Big man tells you where to go. Tell him it's good, tell him okay. But don't do a goddamn thing they say. Oh, Lord, heaven knows we belong way down below. Oh, Lord, tell us so. We belong way down below, way down below, way down below, way down below, way down below. I've seen better ways, man. I know better ways. I've seen better days, man. I've got better days. Gina's in the back with a pocket of high. If you're listening close, you can hear the crying. Oh, Lord, heaven knows we belong way down below. Oh, Lord, tell us so. We belong way down below. Sing it. Oh, Lord, heaven knows we belong way down below. Oh, Lord, tell us so. We belong way down below, 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 way down.
I like her. I like her music.
Welcome to Negotiating Happiness, the show that helps you find happiness, success, and balance in your work and life. I'm Adriana Fierster, your host for this journey into entrepreneurship and personal growth. We're broadcasting live on 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans as part of the United Public Radio Network. We explore the latest strategies, insights, and stories from successful entrepreneurs and experts. From managing stress to building a thriving business, we've got you covered.
This is the United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM in New Orleans and 105.3 in the Gulf Coast. UPRNTalkRadio.com.
last image was kind of scary, man. I'm old. Y'all can't be scaring me like that. I keep fucking telling y'all that.
Yeah.
When it just spills out into the, it's gonna be y'all's fault. Remember that. You know, I got to say something before we get back started. I got a friend of mine who's in the hospital right now, who's a hard-headed SOB, and I hope he makes it. A while back, he'd had some surgery for a heart murmur, and lately he's been having problems with his heart. So I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet. I just found out about this yesterday evening, and I'm gonna wait till Lamar to call him because I know all his family's up his ass today. But we all know what happened to Stephanie Benetti. She refused to take her medicine to kill him. Well, this bastard just won't take his medicine. And they can't operate his heart because it's too weak because he won't take his fucking medicine. Yeah, Janice, any prayers is good, but this, I'm not saying if, I mean, I appreciate that, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying this, but I'm saying this to people. Once you get yourself in this position in life, you need to realize why. I mean, he's not that old. He's
that big-footed chick, man.
She's just hot as hell, man. He's so the thing about him is you know, here he is laying in a hospital. He won't take his meds. You know, doctor said, take your meds. Let us work on your heart. He'll probably live another 10 years, 20 years. He just won't do it. Now he's got kids. He's got a daughter who has 2 grandchildren. Matter of fact, one of his grandchildren are living with him.
What are we talking about?
But he just refuses to do it. He's just a friend of mine. And now he's I think he's 59 now, so he's not even that old. And he just, you know, he's retired. He's got decent money in the bank. I guess he's just bored and wants to go cross over. Look, people, again, you start feeling like that, go find somebody and put them in your life. And I'm not talking about a kid or a dog. I'm talking about another person, whether it's a friend or an opposite, you know, whatever, attraction. Find somebody, even if it's on the internet, find somebody you can talk to and relate to so that you don't find yourself that depressed. Because, you know, a good friend of mine, Stephanie Benetti, who passed away from just what we're talking about right now. I know Stephanie. Stephanie and I used to have long conversations, really long conversations about all sorts of stuff. We used to fight like we were fucking married. Matter of fact, Linda used to laugh her ass off. She'd come sitting here and laugh because, I mean, we'd get into serious knockdown, drag out fucking fights. And her problem was she was a good cook. She had a lot to offer. She wasn't a bad looking woman. She was overpowered, and you'd have to be very strong-willed. And she would find guys, but the problem is those kind of guys she was looking for were going to already be taking.
She was an alcoholic, dude.
She was a full-blown alcoholic, which I tried helping her with on several occasions. She said, "You don't understand." I said, "Sweetheart, I used to drink 2/5 a day every day until I was 30." I said, "Please don't tell me I don't understand what you're saying." And I said, not only that, Stephanie, not only did I quit, but I also learned how to control it, which I've never even fucking heard of an alcoholic that can control their drinking before.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I can though. That's what I'm saying. That's the whole point. So, because I learned one thing about me right off the bat. I quit when my son was born at 23 until I was 25. I started drinking again pretty heavy, and I quit at 30, and then I just didn't drink. So I drink when I want to drink. If, like, when I'm in LA, I may have a couple cocktails there because I have this thing in my head. The reason I can't be out drinking in public is because, one, I have really high tolerance to alcohol, and two, once I drink, I want to drink. So I'm going to drink until the night's over. Now, I don't have to get up next morning and have another drink. I don't have to have another drink for a year or two if I don't want to, but I know how I am. So the things that save me these days is, like, if we go to a casino, I'm not going to drink because I'm always the designated driver. In LA, I'm not going to get wiped out because there's too many important people. I have too much money involved and too many other things going on. But, you know, when I was younger, it was easy. But I'm not kidding. When I hit 30, I went 10 years without even a smell of alcohol. Not even
35 years.
And then every now and then I would drink here and there and there and here. And like last year I went to LA. I didn't drink anything last year. The year before, I had some whiskey sours when I was out there at Dragon Con, because it's nice once you had a long day. It's a nice way to relax.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wouldn't drink a lot of, but it's you know, it's hard, people. You know, you can't let yourself just get into that rut. And when somebody offers you help, you need to take it. Stephanie just wouldn't take it from anybody, not from her mom, not from me, not from anybody. She just, and she didn't like to be told what to do. But that's one of the reasons we used to fight, because I'd tell her all the fucking time, "What the fuck is wrong with you, girl? Get your shit together." Because she was a great station man. She did a fabulous job. She just mean as hell, man. No, she just, she had it's hard to explain, but she had some issues, and then she got with this guy, and they were just running around spending money and blowing and going and doing whatever. And then I forgot exactly what happened, but there was a hurricane, actually. It was Hurricane Sandy. And he left to go check on his kid. She got seriously pissed because he just left her there. Which, first off, the boy's got kids in Brooklyn. He's got to go check on his kids. I mean, come on. She either should have went with him or said, "Hey, look, let's arrange somehow to get back together afterwards." But no, she just went apeshit. I think they actually ended their relationship. I think it was over with after that. And then her dad got Alzheimer's, and her dogs got sick. I mean, it was just piled on top. And instead of reaching out and getting with somebody or talking to somebody, she just withdrew and went to work and didn't talk to anybody at all. And because of that, she ended up dead. Dropped dead at work on the floor. So the doctor said she was dead before she hit the floor. And her mom posted her thing where the doctor said if she just took a pill, she'd still be alive. So what can you do? Of course, I'm one of those people who believe when it's your time, it's your time. But because I've seen some shit happen that it's got to be when it's your time, it's your time. Hopefully, wherever she's at, she's happier. And she's probably out there putting voodoo spells on Michael, though.
She's probably haunting that place good.
Yeah. So anyway, but no, I bring it up because I've lost friends and because of depression a lot of times.
I bet they see her in that office all the time.
I know, huh?
She was overbearing. She was a warrior princess.
She was.
There wasn't a war for her to fight necessarily, But alcohol gets a hold of, it's a demon, man. It gets a hold of people, physiologically changes their brain, and some people can handle it. Some people, some people can, some people can't. And some people, especially because she had a lot of problems, there's a lot of issues going on. We're not going to talk about, but I mean, there was a lot of downers around her, and I don't think there was many positive things in her life. You know what I mean? So, and she lived in Staten Island, which sucks ass. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's like the biggest.
But the thing of it is with her, and this is one of the reasons I brought this lesson up is because with her, she could have had good things in her life. She just once she went down that one road, she wouldn't come back.
She was overbearing.
But we could deal with her. You and I both could deal with her. A lot of people in the network could deal with her.
Great.
I mean, there was lots of people.
I remember
there was lots of people she could have talked to here. She just
held her own. She held her own with us.
But in the end, she just didn't want to talk, and she wanted to hurt everybody in the network just to get back at me, and because she was mad at me because I wouldn't do what she wanted.
Yeah, she was really took things personally.
And that's another thing. She was never used to being told no. You could tell. And when I say no, I fucking mean no. That's just how it is. You can argue with me to cows for a living. Unless I'm wrong about something, I'm not going to change my mind. So, what's that, Denise? No, if I'm wrong about something, I'll change my mind. Yeah. Will I admit I'm wrong? Something I've had to in the past over several things. I've even changed data because I found out I was wrong and went on national radio or TV and told people, hey, look, you know what? We effed up. This is what this actually means. Because you can't be right 100% of the time. That's why.
Well, are you wrong or is the information wrong? I mean, which is it, Joe?
No, it's the information.
Which is it?
Yeah, I was only back then, by the way, I was only going off of data that the researchers before me had done. Actually, once I got into my own research.
If the information is wrong, it's wrong.
But that's one of the reasons with ICAR cracked down so hard on information because, if you're going to do research, you need to do research. You need to do for real research that makes it hard for people. Well, that's a point. So that's why nobody ever believes anything because you can't ever prove anything. I mean, somebody does say, well, the government proved extraterrestrials exist because they're investigating them. I said, no, they're not actually investigating extraterrestrials. They're investigating yaps. They're like, what do you mean? I said, they're not investigating extraterrestrials. Unidentified aerial phenomena. That don't mean it's an ET. That just means it's a yap.
Yeah.
Yeah, so or UFO if you want to call it that. Unidentified.
It could be an unidentified weather phenomenon. It could be all kinds of things.
Every government form
could be Mike that day he got high and sat on a balloon
government
pump.
form in this country asks, "Are you an alien? Yes or no?" You know what I mean? And
the answer is our entire species is yes.
I am not. I was born here
from the planet you don't want to know, far away.
I come from the dirt of Earth. So, what's that? Federico, is that right? Federico. I'd heard a name like that in I don't know, since I was 10. No, I'm not making fun of your name. I just haven't heard one like that in a while. Anyway, what you got for us? I just seen Federico. So I was asking you what you had for us. Oh, you mean what I was just talking about? No, that was a joke. I was talking about the day Michael sat down. So Michael was working for, the New York balloon company that puts up the big balloons. He fucked up one day and sat down on the little stick thing, and it blew his ass up, and they had to go pull him out of the sky. I think they just ended up using him as a balloon. The motherfucker's 6'6" anyway. Can you see this guy? He's 6'6", full of air floating around. Got some strings on him. It was fun to watch, man.
Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Every year.
What do you mean, make it? Oh, no, I was fucking with the guys about, the girl that was just singing, make it her thing. She's not going to be our theme song, No, I was just saying because it says way down below, everybody belongs way down below. I was talking about this group of people right here. Oh, I'm going to heaven. I've been an angel, man. What are you talking about? I'm sweet and innocent, angelic-like, yeah.
Shut the F up.
I am. I'm just as sweet as you can get.
No contractor ever went to heaven.
Even when the Pope gets around me, he's like, God. Man,
no contractor ever went to heaven, man.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Not the contractors go to heaven, man. The good ones do anyway. No, I don't know if any doctors go to heaven.
Gates and there's all the jobs you've done right there, man.
Why? Hey, what was that look about? I just got to look. Wait a minute. I just got to look for something up in here.
That's right.
The peanut gallery's got to make some comments over here on the side. Oh, man. But, no, you can't get any sweeter than I am. I mean, really.
Oh, man. So all you have to do is dip your finger in iced tea and it becomes sweet tea.
So, yeah, it's so bad when I walk in the club, I smell like chocolate chip cookies that drive people crazy. And you're like, wow, this people want to talk to you, get proteins, because you smell like chocolate chip. Fresh homemade chocolate chip cookies. I know, I can see these guys have never seen the movie, Michael.
I can't hear you, dude. Sorry.
No more drugs. They're officially all cut off. Jamie Lee Curtis. No, we talked about her a couple weeks ago, or a week ago. Or something.
We're talking about part of her.
Yeah,
We ain't talking about really her.
Yeah,
he looks good in push-up bras, but that's about it.
It's
you gotta look at Trading Places, man. Trading Places.
Galaxy Quest. Who you talking about?
Google it. Trading Places. Jamie Lee Curtis boobs.
Oh wait.
We're gonna talk about this leak before I go to bed.
Yeah, we'll get ready to. Wait. I gotta see what this Galaxy Quest thing is first. So wait, what about it? Who's the hottest one? Oh, Amy Pond is the hottest one. Well, I call her Amy Pond because that's where I know her from Doctor Who. She's cute, but I don't know if she's hot. She's also in Jumanji too. So she plays the robot girl in not in Galaxy Quest, and the other one. The Galaxy Quest, the one with Tim Allen.
The leak, man, the leak.
She's the guy's daughter. The evil guy. Yeah.
Pete Hedgehog in the leak.
Yes. Well, Pete was interested. Find out. Tell me exactly which one it is. If it's Amy Pond, just type in. Amy Pond. Her real name will come up. And the picture of her will be there. But so getting back to what happened. I mean, we talked about this in the beginning, but it's so Pete's an interesting guy. I mean, he's overbearing, overdriven. One of the questions that was asked about him, by the way, by the Congress was, had he been drinking before this happened? Now, I don't even know why they asked him, because this is not his fault, actually.
That's asinine. I was pissed when I heard that.
Yeah, but this isn't actually Pete's fault. He's not the one that caused this. So they meet in Signal groups all the time. Signal is the most secure messenger there is. There is nothing more secure than they are. They're secured from one end to the other. It's end-to-end encryption. So if you hack them in anywhere, you're going to get jibber jabber. You're not going to know what the fuck they're talking about. If you're not on one of the receivers, you're not going to know what you're talking about. And since smartphones that the government uses has this little warning device on, you'll know if somebody's trying to hack it. So the phone lines were clear. The signal was working fine. The only problem is that Mike guy, which I can't remember what he was. He's something to do with the military or something. He invited that fucking asshole from the Atlantic there. And what I find the most stupid part about all of this, the Atlantic guy should have never leaked this, because he would have had a permanent invite to probably all the rest of the meeting. So he would always know what's going on. He could have been talking about things that happened long before anybody other reporters knew. So, but he blew it. He's out there. And then they're saying, did he leak anything that was considered classified for him? But they can't say he did because everybody's saying nothing in the message was classified. So it's a tough one. Somebody should be fired, though. I ain't gonna lie about that. Somebody should lose their job over this. I think it's whatever his name is, but
Mike Walls.
He should lose his job. He's the one that invited the guy from the Atlantic in, and he still ain't even
Did
up to
he ever say why he did?
For as far as I know, it was an accident. As far as I know, it was an accident. Doesn't mean it was.
Pretty sloppy.
He might have got paid some money for that. What bothered me, though, really, is nobody else in the conversation realized they didn't know who this person was. And maybe they just thought it was one of Mike's aides.
Yeah.
I want to know how he got on Mike's list, on his messenger list.
Do you think maybe the aide put his name on that list to get in there?
It's possible. Somebody did. Somebody had to physically put that name in there for it to be used, to be put into the conversation. I use Signal. I know exactly how it works.
Or do you think the Democrats were trying to set up Pete?
No, I think Mike either Mike did it intentionally or Mike did it accidentally, but somehow or another that guy's phone had this guy's messenger on it. So he had to be. So the way Signal works is, I mean, you can contact somebody new, but it's a big pain in the ass, and there's no way you wouldn't know what you were doing was wrong. But see, like on mine, where's it at? Let me go find it real quick. Let's see. Here it is. Close all this out the way. Let's see. So Signal, when you look at Signal, it opens up and it has to be names on there for you to hit. So you just slide those names into a conversation as you're going along. So Mike was invited to the conversation with everybody else, whoever made the initial invite, and then he invited someone else into the conversation, but he had to physically do it. It couldn't have been an accident. It wasn't a hack. He had to physically pull that person in there. So the question really is for everybody that should be asking is, who did he think that guy was, and why did he invite him to the conversation? And if he can't answer those questions, he needs to be thoroughly investigated and immediately fired. Because as far as we know, this dude's a spy. I mean, you don't let the Atlantic of all papers, one of the most liberal rags on the planet, you're gonna let this thing into your conversation, knowing they're gonna go use this against you. I mean, part of me thinks it was on purpose.
It seems like it. Yeah, I mean, it seems deliberate. Some of it.
Yeah.
It's amazing the guy even had the power to add him, man. You would think that they wouldn't have that,
Now, I guess I didn't think this in the beginning. I thought what happened was Pete had the guy on his list with all the rest of the media, and he just started going down the list to all, Telsey and the rest of them, click, and sent out the invite, and the guy got invited. But the media says that's not true, that Mike invited the person. Mike Waltz invited the person.
So why in the hell are they going after Pete, Joe?
Because that's how the media works. Why are they going after Elon Musk?
He's the boss, man.
What is Elon Musk is doing nothing to anybody. Why are they going after Elon Musk? He hasn't cost anybody any money. Matter of fact, he's saving us a lot of money. And because he's saving us a lot of money in a year, so we're going to get a check.
Didn't he lose $100 billion trying to save us money?
He lost $100 billion so far trying to save us money. And if things don't change, he's going to lose more money. Yeah, it's because Tesla's going to end up out of business. And
yeah,
it's going to devastate people.
Because of this.
Yeah, it's going to devastate people. I mean, all those 401k plans, because Tesla's one of the best things to invest in. Is number one free world car ever. Next thing closest to it.
And don't you think? I mean, people keep saying that. He's being playing favorites by Trump. If Trump were playing favorites, don't you think Trump would have kept the Biden mandate that we go electric by 2030, and he set up electric infrastructure throughout the country? And by now, wouldn't you think that would be going on? That's not what's going on.
guess. I don't know, but I'm just listening to all. It seems like when the shit came out that the liberals, the Democrats, that just gave them a way in to destroy Pete.
How do
and
they tell the
everybody
difference
else.
between the Teslas that blow up on their own versus the ones that they catch on fire?
Well, because usually people use an accelerant to make it catch on fire, so that's the main difference, Michael.
I want to know how that guy busted out the windows to throw those cocktails into the car, into the Teslas.
I thought they were
I think a good
bulletproof.
shotgun will do that.
I thought the trucks were bulletproof or something, right?
That's what I thought so too.
Looks like ductwork going down the road with wheels.
Well, no, I mean, even bulletproof glass is only bulletproof to a certain degree. I mean, if you keep shooting at it, it'll eventually fail.
They tested a lot of times with 9mm and they went right through. So I wouldn't rely on it.
Yeah.
Joe, your microphone's off, I think.
And how much do you believe?
$84,000.
How much do you believe that the press is putting out there that the Houthis are kicking our ass?
What? Who's saying that? I haven't seen that anywhere.
Yeah.
I didn't see that either.
I ain't seen that anywhere. All I heard was that from ship out there rained hell on their ass.
Yeah.
That's all I've heard is that the Houthis need to stay. The
Well,
Houthis
that whole area is reigniting. I mean, not Hezbollah. Israel has attacked Hezbollah again by rocket attacks. I think they sent some rockets into Beirut yesterday. I think yesterday.
They sent some today too. But Hezbollah sent 2 rockets towards Israel, and Israel, was it Yemen? They were in today, blowing the shit up out of stuff.
Yeah.
It's that's not going to stop. And the U.S. has been pounding Yemen and somewhere else just steady.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
steady
Yemen is where
pounding
the
the shit
Houthis
out.
are shooting from.
Matter of fact, they said they killed some big leader yesterday. So I don't know. I've been keeping pretty much close to it. It sounds like they're just pounding the living shit out of the Middle East.
It's a free for all, man.
Yeah, and the U.S. is just wanting to blow some shit up, I guess. We get to the point where we want to blow it up, but it is weird because
you gotta use bombs. They can't just sit around.
No, the problem is we have some old ordnance we got to use up before it's already paid for and it's old. It's already paid for. Just use
all
it.
right, now NATO. I ain't even heard that we're taking troops out of U.S. troops out of Europe yet. NATO makes statement on U.S. troops withdrawal from Europe. Did y'all hear anything about we were withdrawing?
When did we start withdrawing from Europe? No one has done that.
NATO
yet.
priority remains a stable troop presence. NATO's priority remains to maintain a stable troop presence. Yeah. That just means, that's another thing. By that, all these other countries are going to have to start putting their own people in harm's way instead of being Americans. Let's see. In any case, the level of security in Europe will not decrease as NATO military. I haven't even heard on our news that we're bringing troops down.
We're bringing troops to where? To Ukraine?
No, taking troops out. It said media has repeatedly reported plans of administration of Donald Trump to withdraw or redeploy 100,000 troops in Europe, particularly the Telegraph wrote about the intention to withdraw 35,000 troops from Germany and redeploy to Eastern Europe. So wait, so they're not, whatever. They're not actually taking them out. Who wrote this story? This is a hater. This is RBC Ukraine.
So, is it AI?
No, it's just a reporter, 2 reporters out of Ukraine, Melania Leach and Liana Olkinov, or not Olkinov, but they're just changing things. See, that's what I always tell people. This is one of the biggest problems with the media today, always causing chaos. That's just an outright lie story. Why don't you just say, no, the U.S. isn't taking troops out of NATO. They're just redeploying them around Europe.
Right.
They're moving them because they're not needed where they are. Wait, what's this? Ukraine just reached a very impressive new military milestone. Really? Really on what? Kiev's first homemade towed artillery gun is going into battle.
And all Russia got to do is blow that thing up, and that'll be it.
I guess they're trying to design because we gave them some howitzers. I guess that's what they're trying to design. Sometimes. See, but that's a problem. I mean, if you go listen to the regular news, they're trying to sow chaos and dissension. I was watching these governors from the United States and Mexico and Canada. They were trying to, sow hate. And the problem is they're going to have a problem because U.S. is starting to tick downwards. So gas is ticking down, food is ticking down, things are ticking down. And somebody was talking about this the other day. Louisiana, they've got a surplus in natural gas. So if Ottawa gets stupid, the North will probably get cheaper natural gas than they get from Canada.
Yeah.
It'll be cheaper coming from the United States and gas. They'll just truck it up there. So I don't know. It'll drive prices up for us down here a little bit if it's on regular gas, but it's just one of those things. I don't know, Jimmy. The world is kind of fucked up at the moment.
Yeah, things are going wonky.
It's a glowing blue spiral spotted across night sky over Europe.
Another one?
Hey, what is this thing? Let's see if we can see.
Another one of the same helixes like they found it. Was it over Helsinki? Was one several years
Oh,
ago.
wait, get the hell out of here. I'm going to play this. Wait a second. I got to play
They
this.
said it was a rocket.
Yeah, show it.
Oh, hold on. This ain't no rocket. This is some fucking bullshit. Suck my you-know-what thing.
Rocket. It's bleed through, Joe.
It's something bleeding through, all right.
Bleed through.
Let's see. Present me, glowing blue spiral. Yes. This looks like something I seen when I was in school.
They already said it.
Okay, here we go, bloody people. Wait, why don't want to let me hit the button? Where the hell's the button at?
I don't know.
I see the button.
Yeah, I see the button on the screen there, but I don't see the screen anywhere. Oh, there it is. Okay. There we go.
This glowing blue swirl was spotted in the skies over England and Croatia.
In Croatia, no less.
That's Project Bluebeam.
According to the UK National Meteorological Service,
That's
it was likely
fake.
caused by a SpaceX rocket launch.
Bullshit. That is Project Bluebeam.
The agency said the Falcon 9 rocket's frozen exhaust appeared to be spinning in the atmosphere and reflecting sunlight, causing it to look like a spiral in the sky.
Look at the shooting star. Another shooting star.
It ain't a shooting star. We all know. It's
There was actually
Bluebeam.
no. There was that's fake, but there were shooting stars back here. There was a couple of them back there. It's yeah, it's too how can I say it? It's too smooth.
Project Bluebeam.
It's yeah. It's not even got the right pixelation for the picture. Now you have to put it on scale.
Yeah, it's definitely fake. That's just
Let me see if I can
poorly done.
So there's no movement in the spiral whatsoever. No cloud.
Yeah, if you turn it into George Lucas for one of his movies, he'd fire you.
He would too. This is right here is a dead giveaway. What's that? What do you mean? How I know? I've been doing film analyzation for 40 something years. I learned a good bit from Bruce Maccabee and a few others in the field. But it's when you do some of the stuff I do, you got to be able to distinguish what's fake. I just told you I just did some work for the Miami PD for the AI stuff. No, that's not even AI. That looks like looks like CG. I don't know what the hell that is. No Project Bluebeam. What you getting on a Bluebeam about? Why you want to be Bluebeamed, man?
I'm being honest with you, man.
Oh, Bluebeam. What do you think Project? What do you think Project Bluebeam is? Tell me. I want to know what you think it is. Tell me.
What I think it is when they put holograms up in the sky.
Oh, that's okay. He actually knows what it is. Okay, that's a good thing. Well, a lot of people I ask them, they start telling me all kind of bullshit. Means American citizens with bill pass. Okay. A good news if you're a Mississippian today. I have to say, our governor.
What, it finally became a state?
No, they did away with income tax.
Do you believe that, Joe?
What? No, they did away with it. It's done. It's signed. It's a bill. It's gone. It'll take about 4 or 5 years before it goes away completely. Also, they lowered food tax as of today.
Wow. So wait. So is it the state is not going to charge for income tax? They can't do
No
the
more
federal.
no, they can't do federal, but no more state income tax. There's only 10 states that do it. Texas, Florida, Nevada, Mississippi, and there's a few others that do it. But that's it. Nobody else does it. Everybody else pays state income tax. So it's nice if you can get away with not paying. It's just more money in our pocket. They are going to go up on gas though. They put a gas tax that's going to go over 10 years, 9 cents over 10 years. So it's like a penny a year. It's but our gas is way cheaper than everybody else's to start off with. So I can't really.
You're on the coast too. If you're on the coast, you're closer to where they refine it, so it's usually cheaper.
Oh, now it's funny. A friend of mine lives in St. Bernard. One lives in St. Bernard, one lives in St. Rose. So the one in St. Bernard right now is paying $1.88 a gallon, and the one in St. Rose is paying $1.69 a gallon.
Wow.
Yeah, they live like next door to the refinery. That's why. But in New Orleans, they're still paying, I think, $2.25 somewhere around there. Sometimes it jumps up to $2.50, but it's
I don't even think Pennsylvania will ever see that price again.
Oh yeah, under Trump. No, they will under Trump. Guarantee you'll see it under Trump. You'll see at least $2.50.
What is it per gallon up by you? You're about 3 hours from me, Sean.
$3.49.
Okay, yeah, we're $3.15 here, $3.19 in Hagerstown, Maryland. It's across about 20 minutes away from me, so yeah. It's actually going up. It used to be like $2.89 over in Maryland. It's gone up quite a bit.
It's a little strange, but the more Trump opens up the regulations, the more they open up, the cheaper gas is going to get. This time next year, I guarantee you gas will be at least 50 or 80 cents cheaper than it is now.
I sure as hell hope so.
Let's see. Let's see. Cheap gas near me. What are the prices right now? Let's see if we can find anything. Usually they just post it right up. Let's see. 5 miles away it is. Oh, you're just not going to tell me? We get the Buc-ee's, man. Our Buc-ee's is getting ready to open up. Go, Buc-ee's, go. So gas prices right now are ranging between $2.44 for regular and $3.09 for premium. Oh, wait a minute. This is the price that counts. So diesel just a year ago was 5 something a gallon. You know what it is here now? $3.06. We're getting diesel for what y'all are paying for gasoline.
Yeah, our diesel is like $5 or something.
Well, but that's good for y'all anyway, because since most of the major hubs are in the South, you're still going to get food and stuff delivered cheaper. There are a couple of major hubs out, I think in Ohio, and then of course we got to take in consideration that Amazon and Walmart are now decided we're going to build hubs everywhere. But the ones where the big trucking companies are usually in places like Georgia, Alabama, Oklahoma, things like that. What is that, Jane? I don't know. Let's see. I'll find out right quick. I know where you are. Let me type in right quick while we're on here. I'll do it live. No, I know where you are. Give me a second to hit it. Takes a second to type it in. Let's see. So cheapest gas in New Orleans you can find right now, $2.27.
Stop this. I got something to release here. I just got it in my mail. 2 Eastern European organized crime leaders convicted of murder for hire, targeting the U.S.-based journalists on behalf of the Iranian government.
Take them out. Take them out. Take them out all over the place.
Get him, man. Get him.
The world's getting cracked down on whether it likes it or not. Oh, whoa, wait a minute now. Russian President Vladimir Putin warned Eastern countries Thursday over rising tensions in the Arctic, starting the Russia strengthens its military presence in the region. Yes,
define Eastern countries. Which Eastern countries?
I have no idea what he's talking. President, just as the U.S. counterpart Donald Trump seeks to take over Greenland. Russia's spoken policy from the Arctic, where some city I ain't never heard of. NATO's current activities, blah blah blah. Come on, we're supposed to say something smart. That's why you just said it yet. See, this is just bait and click shit. I hate when people do this. I'm going to write something really nasty back to these people. Oh wait, so the Kremlin called. When did this happen? So the Kremlin floated the idea of a partnership between Russia and the U.S. to develop natural resources in the North Arctic Circle. It said Russia's been gradually reopening its bases, and it wants to do a joint with the United States. Now, NATO leader warns Russia to expect devastating reaction if it ever attacks Poland. Whatever. Why you said that about the Ukraine, and you ain't doing shit about it, are you? You know, when you give a warning like that and then you let it slide, nobody ever takes you seriously again.
Well, Poland is NATO. Ukraine is not.
Yeah, but still, I mean, but no. When they took Crimea, we gave them, along with the Europeans, a solid thing that we would come in and defend them if Russia did it again, and we didn't. We said, "Fuck you."
Because Obama was an idiot. He did nothing.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna argue about that. Ukrainian Su-27 bridge strikes cut off Russian troops, and well, good. Y'all need to get doing something if you want to get some territory. Slow motion footage of SpaceX Starship launching Shockwave. No, we don't care about that. Until he flies one of them things around for a while, I'm not interested.
You know how peace talks go. They're going to slug it out until the talks actually get going and the ceasefire happens. They're already trying to agree on a ceasefire in the sea there, the Black Sea. So, you know, they're getting there. But if Trump wasn't in there, none of this would be happening. No talks, no nothing.
Oh no, it'd still be we'd just be doling out more money, and the Europeans would be doling out more money and probably putting troops over there. Clara, no, Trump says he's never putting troops in Ukraine. Now, if with this deal we cut with them for their resources, we may put. Okay, I'm gonna tell you how this is gonna work. We're not gonna actually put troops over there. We're gonna let whoever gets the different contracts bring in special. I don't want to call them mercenaries because that's not really what they are, but they're special security is what they are. Highly armed, highly trained, all ex-military. And that's how we usually do that. Well, I'm sure BlackRock will have part of the contracts. BlackRock's always got their fucking fingers in something. I don't know. I don't know enough about him to hate on him. No, I don't.
You know what? It's funny. It's funny after the assassination, you don't hear nothing about BlackRock now. There's nothing in the news about them.
Yeah, every now and then you hear them invested in this country and that country, in this company or that company. But other than that, they've been pretty quiet lately.
Yeah.
The 2028 Democratic presidential field begins to take shape at a low point for the party. You're not. Just stop making shit up. Democrats, please. You're screwed. And right now, I don't see I know Governor Newsom's trying to make himself look better with his podcast. And he's been talking to conservatives. So he's trying to make himself look better so he can run in 2028 or maybe 2032. There's not many candidates right now. If Trump does everything he says he does and the economy's in good shape when he leaves, no Democrat's going to win. It doesn't matter who the fuck they run. They're wasting their time. So why put up a good Democrat if you know you can't win and just do harm to their reputation? You mean who I think's going to? You mean J.D. Vance? Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. You want me to be honest? I don't think J.D. Vance is going to be the next president. I could be wrong. I ain't got nothing against the guy. What do y'all think? Y'all think JD Vance gonna be the next president?
I think so.
Mickey, what do you think, man? Mickey's drinking some alcohol, I think, man. He's got a lot to learn. Have been watching to him speak and how he holds himself. He's got a lot to learn. And it's worse than that, though. So he's gonna have to go up against Rubio and Santos. Florida.
You know what? I wouldn't mind having Rubio as a president.
And you might get Rubio. If Rubio can keep the State Department shit together, you might have Rubio. But Santos going to be hard to beat, man. He's got 8 years as Florida's governor. The state is humming like a beauty. Everything's running good there. All the stuff's getting passed. They want to get passed. I mean, the state's just doing really well. It's growing at the rate it's growing. I mean, it's the third largest state in the union behind California and Texas. But they say at the rate it's going, it may catch up with both of them in less than 5 years, maybe 8. It's just people moving there by shitloads. But I was surprised to find out how many people were moving to Mississippi now from California and Texas. I was like, get the fuck out of my state, people. Go back to California.
Can I move to your state?
You can move to my state, but then Californian people need to stay wherever they at out there on the West Coast.
All right, good. Good.
What do you mean, Jenny? Oh, what am I saying? Yankees and Canadians are welcome, but West Coasters are not. That's pretty much true. You West Coasters need to stay out West Coast. It's only a handful of y'all can come move down here that I even like. What are you talking? No, I can't mention that on air, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. Oh no! Speaking of that, I will be in LA for a couple of days, about a week, 7 or 8 days. I will be there with Writers of the Futures and Illustrators of the Futures, interviewing winners and judges and family members and attending events and publicizing a lot of stuff. The gala event will be broadcasted live to a lot of millions, several million people, and then we're going to broadcast a reveal after it's been done. That's when the artist of the book, where is the book? I got it right here somewhere. I got it right there. That's it right there. So the artwork in this book, when the authors meet the illustrators, so there's 12 illustrators winners, there's 12 authors winners. So each illustrator does a picture for it. You know what? Maybe it might be easier. I can't use this book because somebody I know and love named Emily will hurt me. But come here, Bob. Get out the way for a minute. But we can use this book. This is book 36. This is a good book. Look at this hottie on the cover, man. She's a hottie. But what I'm talking about is, let me go find it. So you see these pictures right here. As you can see them right there, there's one for each. Well, that's the cover picture there. But see, here's the story pictures. So each one of these pictures belongs to one of the stories in the book. Mm-hmm. So they send the story to the person. They read the story, and then they do the artwork for it. So the reveal usually was in the middle of the week. Now they're going to bump it up because, it's very anticipated, and it's good to get it out early. So here's some more. So this is just artwork from this book, and each one of these represents a story in the book. And what gets me about this is when these people meet each other for the first time, there's a lot of crying going on, by the way. So the illustrators go in and they set their pictures up, on easels all around this table. And then the illustrators come in and the authors come in and they find their illustrator. They identify their picture from their book and they get to meet the illustrator. And the first time they get to really see the picture, I'm telling you, dude. And they're really good at matching the artwork with the stories. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of good thing. But all of these people, any of these people could be the next great sci-fi or fantasy writers, any kind of good movies. It's nice to meet them. You never know which one's going to be the next big famous person. What's that, Janine? No, I'll be there for 8 or 9 days. I know I'll be there from Saturday to Saturday for sure. Yeah, no, the show will be on. Jay will be running the show. The chat, yeah, Jay and Sean and Michael will be running it. And maybe Leo will come by. Who knows? He'll be running UFO on the Cover this week and News on the Flip Side. Yeah. or not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday he'll be running it. Yeah, because I'll be gone. I'll be hanging out, hobnobbing with the rich and famous.
Hey Joe, I gotta run.
Get out of here, man. Go get some rest. I got a couple articles I want to get out, and then I got one little song, and then I'm gonna get out of here.
See you, man.
All right, good night, Mike. Good night, Jay.
Be safe. Be careful.
You mean the richest person I know?
Thank you,
Person,
buddy.
I couldn't tell you on air. Good dreams, Sean. It's dream about Barbarella, man. Yeah, dream about Barbarella. It's no, honestly, I couldn't tell you the richest person I know. No, it's they would not appreciate if I mentioned their name on air. No, they would not. I know several millionaires. Why don't they give me any money? Why don't you ask them that question? It's because millionaires are stingy bastards.
Because they didn't get their money by giving money away.
That's right. They're stingy bastards, man. Every now and then somebody will make a donation to the station, but they're stingy bastards. No, hold on. You know what? I was looking for that before I got sidetracked. And I got talking about something else. Oh, so where is this one at? So this came out in the Independent that we found the Ark of the Covenant through remote viewing.
See.
So this was supposed to be. Oh wait, this is. We're gonna have to play this other thing I just found first. Hold on, stop. What's this? Well, let me have this one. Let's see. No, but anyway. I think this is when remote viewing first started or something. They came out with this. So we're going to listen to that in a second. But this is the article, too, about the remote viewing. If I can get my fat finger on it again. There it is. So you see right here, where's it at? Yeah. See, I found the Ark of the Covenant by using Psyche declassified files claim. So it was remote viewing. I read the article. They found it in the exercise remote viewing. That's how they found the Ark of the Covenant. See that here?
What is that?
It must be Jay crashed out on us. Well, the beauty if he does too much. Yeah, we would just put him on mute.
He's snoring, man.
No, I'm here. I'm just so exhausted.
You go get some sleep, man. We ain't got that much time. Go get some rest, man.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna bail out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you guys.
So Jay, remind me because you're gonna like this thing about they found the Ark of the Covenant with remote viewing.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll have to bring it up on Saturday.
Yeah, we'll talk about it then. But go on, get you some sleep, man.
Yeah, I'll see you guys.
So this is just a cool article, and we're going to talk about a little bit more about that. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to play this right here. This is the thing Sean got all mad about when I was talking to him about earlier. This guy is just a DICK, and so let's go ahead and cue him up. And I got him in the right place, yeah. So let's just hit the button. Okay, that's weird.
The main person who was involved in counting. Additionally, the main person who was involved in this thread. Additionally, the main person who was involved in this thread that a lot of people want to talk to is Secretary of Defense Hegseth. And a lot of questions were brought up regarding his drinking habits in his confirmation hearing. To your knowledge, do you know whether Pete Hegseth had been drinking before he leaked classified information?
I don't have any knowledge of Secretary Hegseth's personal habits.
Director Radcliffe, same question. Yes or no?
No, I'm going to answer that. I think that's an offensive line of questioning. The answer is no. I find it interesting that you want to. I'm going to answer. You asked me a question. Do you want an answer?
No, listen.
You don't want to focus on the good work that the CIA is doing, that the intelligence community.
Director, I reclaim my time. Director, I reclaim my time. Here.
So, yeah, he just got carried away with it. It was. So why would you ask that question? Obviously, he's in a group with some of the top people in the world.
Huge respect for the CIA. Huge respect for our men and women in uniform. But this was a question that's on the top of minds of every American.
It's not. No Americans asking whether the guy was drinking. I know. No one. This is just more shit trying to make trouble. I mean,
trying to make them look bad. That's what they're doing. I mean, that's what they've got. They don't have, the Democrats have nothing else but to try to shame other people. They have no ideas. They have no direction. They have no nothing. They just want to shame other people. That's all that they do, you know? And when they get in charge, they throw our money away and endanger us. You know, they have no idea what leadership is or what they're doing. Period. So whatever.
It's gotten to the point where it's just gotten sad. The Democrats have just become a sad sack of shit party.
It gets worse every day, apparently.
Wait, what was this? Wait a minute. Science confirms Earth is losing atmosphere to space. Okay, and when did this start?
It goes to air, everybody.
We're
going to have to start investing in some O2.
And how long is this going to take, people?
A billion years. A billion years. 3 billion years.
So that just tells me we need to start making more atmosphere.
Preserving the atmosphere. Right?
Come on, just tell us how long. See, they just assholes with all.
There was a cool alien story I wanted to read the other day. I saved it.
What? We got a new saint. You don't want to know about no new saints. Putin names North as potential partner to settle Ukraine war. Putin names North as, I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. I don't know. Putin wants out of this war because he wants to go back to exploring, and he's trying to figure out a way to get some of his sanctions lifted so he could go enjoy his country again, and let his country start enjoying his country again. Let's see. Vladimir Putin on Friday listed North Korea as one of the partner countries he is willing to work with to settle its war with Ukraine. But we're not dealing with Kim Jong-un. You can fucking forget that.
The Washington Post. Aliens are real, and there's a cover-up. A new documentary aims to prove it.
Well, good luck. I mean, I hope they do. I'd like to see a documentary that can prove aliens.
And what if the government is hiding information? Our own leaders were putting us in danger of annihilation.
Well, I don't know if our government's putting us in danger of annihilation. I don't think the governments can do much about the extraterrestrials, but think about it. We've been only knowing they've been around for how long?
The resulting firm asserts that the U.S. government has been hiding evidence of alien encounters for 80 years, as well as a secret program to reverse engineer the technology and retrieve UFO crashes, which has become a Cold War arms race with Russia and China in the lead.
So right there, you know it's bullshit. Right there, you know it's bullshit. Okay, this has always bothered me about ufology people and people looking into this. So if I go just by the crashes I know of, currently, even with all the crashes going on with the FAA lately, currently the aliens who fly across deep space and cosmos and all sorts of shit crash more on this planet than we do. Okay, first off, that's impossible. They would stop coming. They would just fucking stop coming. Secondly, like the guy Kethwa said, we've got 70 craft and 200 aliens. That's bullshit. We don't have any of that. If we did, we'd be so much more advanced than we are right now. It wouldn't even be fucking funny, but we're not. We're just now getting to 6th generation. Maybe we might have a plane that can fly into space, and this is 2025. It's 2030 for that might even happen. And that still puts us back a long ways. It's hard for me because I don't believe, first off, that ET flies across the cosmos and falls out of the sky when they get here. I just have a problem with that. I don't think there's anything on this planet that can shoot them down. And somebody said, well,
maybe we were gifted some stuff that we, said, hey, here, check this out. You know what I mean?
Well, we got the Roswell crash, that's for sure. I mean, we got the craft that the Germans have. As far as I really know, that is really the only true UFO that's floating around. Is the one that was given to the Germans, the ones that the guy was given to at the turn of the century before last. He gave it to the chancellor. That chancellor gave it to Hitler. And then we recovered it in World War II and brought it back here and crashed the fucking thing in Roswell, killing 3 aliens and 5 humans. Other than that, though, there is no proof for any other craft. Nobody's reported really seeing any. There's no real leaks about any. Nothing really comes out of Area 51.
And that's Roswell's economy right there, 100%.
It is. It really is Roswell's economy. No, Jimmy, Michael's absolutely. I've been to Roswell 4 times now. It's UFOs got. I mean, their fucking streetlights are alien heads. The Walmart and McDonald's have alien spaceships crashed into the side of them.
They got the museum. A bunch.
They got the museum, and then and they used to have a bunch of little businesses for it. I don't know if they have as much as they used to. Well, ufology takes hits from paranormal all the time. Chasing ET is not as popular as chasing ghosties. Because ghosties are right here with you. Yeah, if you believe in ghosties. Well, there's people on the planet, probably about 2 billion, that don't believe any of this is real, any of it. There's a bunch of people who are like me who think ghosties are something else. See, I actually think there's a couple types of ghosts, to be honest with you. I think there's impressions, hauntings, and dimensional bleeps. I just think there's a few things going on. And we always just try to label it all that it's Casper, but it's really a different thing. So, imprinting is when an event happens and leaves an imprint. And it's not always an evil event. For some reason, some passings leave an imprint. I don't know. You'd have to ask Michael. He's the expert in that shit, not me. It's
you gotta watch out for imprints.
Because they could be anything, can't they? I mean, anything that happened that was there.
Well, energy doesn't die. Energy transcends, man. So you gotta think that the ones that are earthbound, they don't want to move on. They don't know how to move on, or they can't move on for a bunch of reasons. Visitations I've run into, where family have come and gone. Been up there all the time. You know what I mean? But then there's other stuff too. I mean, it depends. I think a lot of people have had paranormal experiences, and they kind of try to play it off in their mind, But it's definitely like, it was kind of funny with my mom that we had a cat that we had to put down. And I was maybe 13 or 14 or something like that. So, and I was outside. She took off with my sister. My sister was already married, but she came because it was her cat to go put down anyway. They went to the vet, and I was outside just chilling, and I swear to God, I saw this cat run past me like a shadow. But it was because this cat had kind of a stumpy tail, because my sister had slammed the door one time on his tail by accident, and he lost the trunk of his tail. This thing runs past me. I'm like, what? And then, so the cat used to always sit on top of the microwave oven in the kitchen. I'd walk through the door, always tell him to get down, so he would jump down automatically. I started seeing that, like the shadow figure of that. And then, months later, I'm talking to my mom about it, and I'm like, we're talking about just ghosts or whatever. I don't know how we started talking about it. And I said, I think I saw the cat. And she said she saw the same thing. And then she said she heard it like meowing underneath the table in the kitchen. We had another cat, and she would be feeding the other cat, and she heard it meowing, and the other cat even looked under there. So it's just interesting, you know what I mean? Like energy, how, however, it comes together again in like a big recycling system. You know what I mean?
It's
spirits, but they stay with us too, man. Like animal spirits, lots of times people say the cat or dog they put down, they see sitting on the bed, laying on the bed with them or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think that energy gets attached to us, and we get attached to it, and it kind of goes round and round and round.
It's oh, look at this! The UK pulled Cybertrucks from their streets. They said
people putting swastikas on them, and, like going nuts, man, burning them up. They're going nuts, dude. Like nuts.
Yeah. I think Elon might have been playing this. Some of that just doesn't feel right. It's
could be. He's an opportunist. He's definitely an opportunist.
It's he definitely is that. SpaceX Starlink satellites swarm like cosmic fireflies. It's pretty soon that's all you're going to see up there is damn Starlink satellites.
So what is it about him that they don't like? Why is he evil? Why is he a Nazi? You know, what is it? I mean, what? I'm not
Because
seeing
it's none of that. It's not what it is. So they can't attack Trump. Trump is too hard to attack right now. And attacking Trump just makes him look like an ass. So attack Elon. Elon's nobody. Remember, he's not an elected official, which most people in D.C. are not elected officials. They're, appointed officials. And so they want to do that. And I don't understand the liberals, since most of the people who have 401k plans have 401s and Tesla, and liberals drive Tesla. So I'm kind of like, why are you going after somebody who was helping y'all and doing help you stop polluting and has the president's ear? I would think you want to be friends with the guy because he's got the president's ear and maybe you might get something done. But no, they want to talk it. So I think what you're going to end up seeing is Tesla is going to sue the Democratic Party and probably bankrupt. It's probably what's going to happen, because if Tesla goes under because of the stuff that the Democratic Party's been saying that riled these people up, which isn't going to be hard to prove, adios Democratic Party.
They said it right there on the streets, and we're going to go after, torch the Teslas and whatever, fight them in the streets.
Yeah, it's I mean, they pretty much doomed their party. People like Maxine Waters and them. They pretty much doomed their party.
Because they're not going to get away with it. They're not going to get away with this.
No, they're not. Well, Maxine, I don't think she really gives a shit, because I don't think she's running again like Nancy. But what's it? No, that thing we played about Nancy Pelosi, Peter. No, that was absolutely 100% real. Yeah, that's Nancy's voice. That's her daughter. Nancy's daughter was actually recorded.
Maxine Waters was still known as one of the most corrupt people in Congress. She bailed her husband's bank out with tax dollars multiple times for millions of dollars, and nobody ever looked into that and the issues that went on there. But whatever, they're all corrupt, man. They're all establishment corrupt politicians. Trump is not establishment. That's why they can't even fight him. How do you fight someone like that? He's Godzilla,
Well, it's like that clip we were listening to earlier. So starting to fight with Trump right now. Okay, so Trump does all these executive orders, which he said he was going to do, and get all the stuff going, so he's getting to do it. But anytime a Democrat stops him, he gets to use that. See, they don't want to help y'all. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to talk about this. They just want to keep it from happening. And fighting against DOGE is not really good.
They're calling for Chuck Schumer to step down because he's voted with Trump. I think I hear that he was on Epstein's Island in the plane, and they got a lot of evidence against Chuck Schumer, and I think that that's why he played ball, because Chuck Schumer never played ball like that.
No,
never.
Well, you might be right, but I mean, he said, and I kind of think he might be telling the truth, because I was reading up on it. If you stop the government, then the president has complete control. He has everything. He has all the power. There's no more legislation
on the island. Come on, man.
Maybe so, but Fetterman and them weren't, and they all voted too. So they all agreed.
Fetterman's very down to earth, man. He's not
10.
He's not pie in the
Remember,
sky.
it was 10 Democrats that voted against the rest of Republicans, and then
I
the
think
Senate they've only got
Fetterman's
50
embarrassed
votes.
by the Democrats.
Well, they only got 50 votes in the Senate, so losing 10 votes is a big deal, and that could put them over the top. Remember, 60 votes could put the Republicans over the top for a lot of things. So they got to be careful, and a lot of these people are liking what Trump's doing. I mean, Bernie came out and said just the other day, he said it more than once, I really think DOGE is doing a good job. And there's a lot of other Democrats, the medalist Democrats, they're really happy with all of this. They're not really upset. And then a bunch of them will come out and say, like we listened to the Jeffries clip earlier today when he was saying about, he said he was going to do it, and he's doing it. And that's what the fuck we want. Yeah, I mean, and that's the truth. He's doing it. No, ladies and gentlemen,
He's doing a great job on the border. Look at that, man, right away.
Yeah. Well, gas is going to come down. Like I said, I'm sorry, Charlene. Diesel's down to $3.08 down here. It was just $5.08 not even a year ago. So that's $2 a gallon. That's going to bring your food prices down quickly. We'll probably start seeing food drop more. I think by end of summer, maybe by Christmas, we'll see food down here about 20%, and gas probably down about 20%. If Trump keeps that up, and for like J&M, if gas gets down under $3, maybe $2.80, $2.70, $2.60, they're going to be happy. If it gets down here under $2, gets to like $1.50, we'll be happy. No, we don't have to hit the rock bottom. and food will come way down. That'll help out a lot. Well, a lot of the tariffs he's talking about, and the media don't want to be honest with you, but are not going to affect us in that way. Most of the tariffs we're talking about are big ticket items. So when you buy a new car, brand new car, you're going to feel a pinch. But if you buy a used car, you won't.
You saw that UAE investing $1.4 trillion into this country.
Yeah, all together, Trump's got, I think, $4 trillion of new investments coming in the country. That's a lot of money.
That is a lot.
I mean, the Chinese guy, the Japanese guy, they're doing $500 billion. I forgot his name. They're doing $700 billion. And the chip guy's doing, I think, 600 or 800.
They're
billion.
opening up business, creating jobs.
Yeah, they're creating manufacturing. And not all of it's going to be low-end manufacturing. Some of it's going to be high-end manufacturing.
Yeah, man, they're creating
But, ladies and gentlemen, there's two reasons why you bring manufacturing back to our country. One, to keep people working and help to grow our population. But two, if you don't have a big manufacturing base, if you go to war, you're screwed.
Made in America used to mean something, something special.
One of the reasons America won world,
and they were good products. I mean, it wasn't like a bad.
The reason America won World War II is because it was mass produced. Right now, China's the king of mass producing. So the U.S.
But they make junk. It's already broken by the time you get it.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if you sending out 50,000 drones, and half of them crash. That's still the other 25,000 go kill somebody.
Yeah.
So we've got to be able to keep up with a lot of things. Well, no, we'd like to increase the population in the United States. It's only 350 million. I'd like to see it around 700 million or something.
Too many. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
No, that's nothing for a country.
There's no housing.
Okay, now that just tells me right there you've never driven across the United States. There's way more
areas nobody wants to be in.
No, there's lots of areas people want to build.
You got to build the housing.
Yeah, well, we don't have a housing shortage. We
Oh,
got
yeah,
a
we
greed
do.
shortage.
Of
No,
course
we got a
have
greed
housing
shortage.
shortage.
No,
That's
indeed
like
not,
one of the biggest things, one of the biggest problems.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things the liberals tell you. But if you go house hunting, they're all over the fucking
When
place.
you go looking for an apartment, they're $1,500 for a one bedroom. That's too damn much money. Too much money.
Well, I agree with
You
it's
know
too
what I
much
mean?
money. But
And then
there's
if
lots
you
of
got,
it.
if you got kids and whatever, and you can't own a house, and you got to get an apartment, you're spending big bucks, man. $2,000, $2,500. At that rate, you can get a mortgage, but they don't give mortgages to people like that. They'll let you pay the rent, but they say but no mortgage.
Well, no, you can get hooked up with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and they'll hook you up. They'll get you into a house. It'll take you 4 or 5 years, but they'll get you into a house.
They should be like Europe. Europe has lifetime mortgages, man. Like they just lifetime mortgage, and it's cheap, cheap, cheap. But everybody owns their house. That's cool.
Well, see, where I live, there's not much in the way of apartments. It's mostly homes around here. There's not really too much in the way of it. There's a couple of places in the South that are not real big on apartments. Condos, high-end condos, but really apartments are not real big on apartments. They would rather you own your house. And there's a lot of projects, a lot of different companies and a lot of different government projects that will help you get into a house. They would prefer you to live in a house than an apartment, but because there's more crime in apartment complexes. Neighborhoods seem to be safer, and for the most part, and apartment complexes seem to be more violent.
But the politics took control of those programs, and regular old working people didn't figure in. It was other people that figured in, not regular old working people. You know what I mean? So that's what they want. That's what they did, man. But whatever, man. We survive in this world. It is what it is. I'm looking for some land right now.
Russia and the Ukraine each, Ukraine and Russia attack each other with over 100 drones each, despite the agreed ceasefire.
Yeah, it's going to happen like that. It's going to happen until the deal is done, man. You got to beat each other up until who can negotiate for the better deal. It's always how it happens throughout history, right?
Scientists drill nearly 2 miles down to pull 1.2 million year old ice core from the Antarctic.
Fancy.
They keep saying they're finding weird stuff. They keep shutting things off because
they're going to find some fucking virus that's going to kill everybody.
Oh, now here I love this. So this got this paper called Salon or whatever they're called. If you ever see an article about Trump, it's going to be a hit piece. Always going to be a hit piece.
Oh yeah.
Like the one they had today. Hey, wait, America has hit its mega tipping point. Really, I haven't seen that. If you're gonna lie about something somebody's gonna believe, not some bullshit nobody's gonna believe. when NBC and ABC and them are still putting out good poll numbers, you shouldn't be trying to say shit like that. Oh, what's this? Trump delivers final blow to Biden. What happened? What happened? Well, we don't care who we vote Biden. Security clearance. That's another one of them bait and click things.
Yeah. Old news.
Life on Mars have arisen in the same time it did on Earth. Actually, probably was before Earth.
They went from there to here.
Yeah, pretty much is what I'd say. The 2025 SpaceX update is here. Good for y'all. Doorbell, yeah, good for y'all. Good for y'all. A bunch of people quit at Columbia University, including one of the main guys, because they bowed down to Trump.
Yep.
Because at this point, after what you did him through the entire 2006 and all the rest of that time, fucking with him now is stupid. It is obvious when you look at it, the country wants him to do this. Social Security to issue first COLA increase payment. Oh, that must be the payments for the people who, for some reason, people who are on pensions are going to get like a $5,000 check.
COLA?
Yeah, it's COLA, I think is how they say it. 11.
Cost of living increase.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
A cost of living allowance.
11 Earth-like planets just outside our solar system. Really? I'm going to have to keep this for
Some
fun.
of them have ice and they're glowing. And it's pretty cool stuff, man. I mean,
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff.
yeah.
What's that, Don? No, I keep up with stuff like this. I enjoy reading about stuff like this.
It's more fun to read about that than politics, man.
Well, because like we have one we found. So NASA shot the beams through the atmosphere of this planet, and they found stuff that can only be made by machines. Yes, they found stuff in the atmosphere that can't be made by life. It can only be made by machines. So they're pretty sure there's life there, and at some advanced stage. Now they're not talking about like super advanced, but probably around where we are. And then another planet they just found, they have radio signals coming off of. So there's 4 planets now they found that probably have life.
Yeah.
I know, it's kind of weird, isn't it?
Some kind of life, bacteria.
Putin ain't playing, man. Putin launches new submarine equipped with unstoppable nuclear missiles.
Red October, what are you?
Putin, don't take this the wrong, baby, but I think we can stop your nuclear.
I know 2 psychics that say he's going to kick the bucket within a couple of months.
Oh, we can only hope. James, I don't know. No, we got to go. It's 16 after. Plus, I'm hungry.
Yeah, we gotta get out of
here. We got a show tomorrow. I got 2 show tomorrow. Mike's got a show tomorrow.
We're hungry. We gotta eat stuff and whatever.
Yeah, we gotta go find some food. It's 1 o'clock in the morning for Mike. It's midnight here. Oh, well, if you have a complaint, don't write to me because I'm just gonna tell you fuck off. No, really, I will. If you have a complaint, anybody who has a complaint, write to Michelle DeRoche. Just go on Facebook and type in Michelle DeRoche. I'll take you to her page and you can write her. Don't waste her time because she's mean and naive if you waste her time. Yeah, just so. If you got a legitimate bitch, say it. I mean, you can write it to me and I may read it, but if I don't think it's legit, I'm just going to tear your ass up on air. Or one of the other guys will. What do you mean? Do you want more news? We did a lot of news today. We crossed.
Complaint department's on the 3rd floor.
We crossed at least 30 articles tonight. Yeah, we did quite a lot of news today. Yeah, we always fuck around, so but we did quite a lot of news. Well, maybe in the future. Maybe in the future we'll just do all news the first hour and opinions the second hour and satire the third hour. How's that? Would that make you feel better? Yeah, you fucking asshole, Leo. Anyway, we got to get out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for hanging out and listening to us tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. Again, any moans, groans, bitches, or complaints, please write to Michelle DeRoche, courtesy of Michelle DeRoche. Tell her that Michael and Joe were being perfect little angels, and she might even send you some Canadian chocolate.
Bacon, which is
Canadian. Canadian bacon. Anyway, on that note, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Good night, everybody.
Bye.